Chapter 1031. He couldn't wait for this Tao Essence Holy Emperor to make a move. Ning Cheng raised his hand and tore open the sound restriction in the room. Junior apprentice Sister Kong Ning, it's me. I changed my appearance. Are you senior apprentice Brother Ning? Kong Ning immediately recognized Ning Cheng when she heard his voice. She immediately understood that something must have happened to Ning Cheng, which forced him to pretend to be a disciple of River Luo's sacred sect. Yes, it's me. I was ordered to investigate the situation and was about to rush back to the sect. I didn't expect to meet you here. It's really a blessing. Ning Cheng didn't remove his disguise. As long as Kong Ning knew what he meant, it didn't matter. Yu Xing didn't expect Ning Cheng to be a disciple of River Luo's sacred sect. He also saw that Ning Cheng had changed his appearance. Even Kong Ning called this cultivator senior apprentice brother. Since this cultivator in front of him was from River Luo's sacred sect, was there any need to doubt him? Junior apprentice Sister Kong Ning, I have an urgent matter to attend to. But the teleportation array to the Grand Essence domain isn't open right now. I can't leave for a while. Ning Cheng said it directly. He believed that the closure of the teleportation array had something to do with this city Lord Yu. Kong Ning didn't ask Ning Cheng about the urgent matter and only looked at Yu Xing. Yu Xing spoke up in embarrassment, because Luobao Chamber of Commerce also contributed to the construction of the teleportation array. Now that Luobao Chamber of Commerce has asked to close the teleportation array for 3 months, I can't ignore this favor. Fortunately, there's only less than half a month left, otherwise. Ning Cheng sneered in his heart. Favor? Was it an exchange of benefits? City Lord Yu, although this matter makes things difficult for you, I have no other choice. I must bring my things back to the sect as soon as possible. I hope Sect Master Yu can forgive me for the inconvenience. After Ning Cheng spoke politely, he took out a jade box and handed it to Yu Xing with both hands. City Lord Yu, this represents the meaning of my sect. After confirming that Ning Cheng was from River Luo's sacred sect, Yu Xing hesitated. It wasn't a wise thing to offend River Luo's sacred sect. Even if River Luo's sacred sect was far away from here, they would quickly find out about it. His spiritual consciousness fell into Ning Cheng's jade box, and he quickly reached out and took it. Many thanks, Dao friend Ning. Ning Cheng's jade box didn't have any restrictions, and it contained a Dan. Although the Scarlet Heart Zoysia fruit was a Dao transformation Dao fruit, it was still very useful to him. Even if he didn't use it, he would still be able to earn a large sum of divine crystals by auctioning it off. Then I'll go back with senior apprentice Brother Ning. Kong Ning spoke up in time. After she finished speaking, she looked at Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng should have already known about her mission here. If Ning Cheng knew about the situation of Planet 5 Elements, then he would definitely let her go back with him. If Ning Cheng was not clear about it, he would have said it. Ning Cheng understood Kong Ning's meaning. After Kong Ning finished, he quickly spoke up, it would be best if junior apprentice Sister Kong Ning could accompany me back. Yu Xing put away the jade box and chuckled, the two of you are from the River Luo sacred sect, so naturally, you are not within the range where teleportation is prohibited. Please follow me. Ning Cheng felt overjoyed and quickly sent a sound transmission to Kong Ning. How many spirit crystals does it cost to teleport? Kong Ning immediately replied, for the disciples of the 10 great academies, the teleportation is half price. For the two of us, it's 3 million spirit crystals. Ning Cheng couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He took out a ring and handed it to Yu Xing. City Lord Yu, these are the spirit crystals that junior apprentice sister and I need for teleportation. Yu Xing's spiritual consciousness swept through the ring and found that it contained 6 million spirit crystals. He quickly spoke up, you are the disciples of the River Luo sacred sect, so it's only half price. Ning Cheng put the ring in Yu Xing's hand and said, because of the urgency of the matter, we have to trouble City Lord Yu. It's only right for us to pay the full price. Yu Xing's view of Ning Cheng changed drastically. There weren't many disciples like Ning Cheng who came from the 10 great academies and still treated him with such courtesy. The three of them had just walked out of the teleportation tower when a red light descended and Yuxing grabbed it. It was a messenger flying sword. Yuxing's spiritual consciousness swept through the flying sword, but he didn't find anything unusual on his face. He just smiled and said to Ning Cheng and Kong Ning, "I have something to do now. I'll only be back for half an hour at most. You can wait here for a while." Seeing Yuxing leave, Ning Cheng's expression suddenly turned ugly. He guessed that the messenger flying sword most likely had something to do with Deacon Gorge. Since it had something to do with Deacon Gorge, it most likely had something to do with him. Kong Ning could see that Ning Cheng was a little anxious and asked with a sound transmission, "What happened?" Ning Cheng replied with a sound transmission, "Are you going to investigate the 5-element chaos chi on planet 5 elements?" Kong Ning nodded, "Yes, I just finished my Dao sculpting and stabilized my cultivation. So I took a task that was quite far away and used it to gain some experience. Since I'm banned from going out for 3 months, I didn't care about it and decided to stay here for more than a month." Ning Cheng whispered, "There's no need to go. Planet 5 Elements itself is a conspiracy. A powerful essence spirit wants to use the spiritual roots and Dao charm foundation of the cultivators who went to Planet 5 Elements to restore their strength. But because too many people went to Planet 5 Elements this time, that essence spirit ended up overreaching, and many people ended up snatching the 5-element chaos chi." "Is there really 5-element chaos chi?" Kong Ning almost screamed. She came from a big sect and naturally knew about the preciousness of 5-element chaos chi. Ning Cheng replied, "It's true. If it weren't for some problems, I'm afraid that no one who went to Planet 5 Elements would have survived." Ning Cheng's words weren't an exaggeration. The reason why the essence spirit went into such a mess was that Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness was too powerful and the existence of the dark nether devouring spirit scroll. Without a starry sky sea of consciousness, even with the dark nether devouring spirit scroll, there was no way to survive. Ning Cheng had prevented the essence spirit from condensing and consumed the torrent of essence spirit's attack on the sea of consciousness, which gave others the opportunity to snatch the 5-element chaos chi and escape. Otherwise, according to the steps of the essence spirit, no one who entered Planet 5 Elements could have escaped. In fact, in addition to these reasons, Ning Cheng had arranged a teleportation array before entering Planet 5 Elements. Without the teleportation array, even if Ning Cheng obtained the 5-element chaos chi, he might not have been able to escape. Similarly, if the essence spirit hadn't condensed a giant hand out of anger to grab Ning Cheng and consumed too much energy, the rest of the cultivators who entered Planet 5 Elements wouldn't have been able to escape. With so many impossible things happening to Ning Cheng, one could only say that the fellow on Planet 5 Elements was just too unlucky. "Then what's the matter with you?" Kong Ning asked again. The Ning Cheng she knew rarely showed such an anxious expression. Therefore, she had to ask about it. "The news that I might have 5-element chaos chi on me reached a Dao Essence Holy Emperor of Lobao Chamber of Commerce. Therefore, that Dao Essence Holy Emperor asked City Lord Yu to seal off the teleportation array and wait for him to arrive. If I hadn't met you, I'm afraid I would have had to fight against that Dao Essence Holy Emperor." Ning Cheng didn't say another sentence. That flying messenger sword had left Ning Cheng feeling a little scared. Hearing Ning Cheng's words, Kong Ning felt a little scared. "You're too bold. If I wasn't here, wouldn't you have died?" Ning Cheng smiled, "I wouldn't have died. It would have just wasted my trump card. I'm afraid that I would have to head to the Grand Essence Sea." Before seeing Kong Ning, Ning Cheng had already prepared to bring out the bead condensed from the spiritual consciousness. With that bead, even a late-stage Dao Essence cultivator like Yuxing couldn't stop him from leaving. Not to mention that Yuxing was only slightly stronger than Deacon Xiao. As for the Spirit Sea City's defensive array, it wouldn't stop him. At worst, he wouldn't participate in the 5 Realms pill meet and could just cross the Grand Essence Sea. It's just that he couldn't bear to part with that bead. That bead could save his life at a critical time. Ning Cheng naturally didn't want to use it casually. Ning Cheng took out 2 jade bottles and handed them to Kong Ning. There are medicinal pills for cultivation and a miraculous crossing Dao pill. You might need it when you reach the Dao birth realm in the future. Kong Ning knew that Ning Cheng was a Dao essence pill saint. Therefore, she refused Ning Cheng's things with a red face. I haven't even returned the points I lent you last time. How can I accept your things? Ning Cheng stuffed the jade bottles into Kong Ning's hands. I'm afraid I can't use the teleportation array to leave. If I'm not wrong, the flying messenger sword that Yu Xing just received should have something to do with me. It's most likely sent by Deacon Xia from Lubao Chamber of Commerce. Even if he confirmed that I'm a disciple of River Luo Sacred Sect, City Lord Yu would still take action. He dares. If he dares to touch my River Luo Sacred Sect, he'll die. Kong Ning spoke with the confidence of a disciple of a big sect. She wasn't speaking nonsense. If someone knew that she was a disciple of River Luo Sacred Sect and dared to make a move, they would truly die. Don't look at how Ning Cheng killed Guahauga. At that time, Ning Cheng had a legitimate reason to do so. Otherwise, how could he still be alive? Ning Cheng was just about to speak when he heard someone speak up from the side. Kong Ning, who dares to touch my River Luo Sacred Sect's disciple? Only then did Kong Ning see 3 more people coming out of the teleportation tower. She quickly stepped forward and bowed. Kong Ning greets Master. Why is Master here? When Ning Cheng saw the 3 people coming over, he immediately knew that the situation wasn't good. The female cultivator that Kong Ning called Master was definitely a Dao Essence powerhouse. Ning Cheng also knew the other 2, but they didn't have a good relationship with him. One was Tong Mingzi, and the other was Shan Yaotzen. This was bad. If Ning Cheng had faced a Dao Essence Holy Emperor, he would have had the confidence to escape. But now that he had to face several Dao Essence Holy Emperors, he had no chance at all. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness forcibly broke through the restrictions and swept out. He then saw Yu Xing coming over with Deacon Gorge beside him. Dao friend Kong Ning, I'll take my leave first. By the way, please help me get the things I need. Ning Cheng turned around and left. Since he couldn't leave through the teleportation array, he only had one way out now. That is to leave the Divine Sea City and enter the Grand Essence Sea. Kong Ning knew what Ning Cheng was talking about. It was the thing he gave to Yu Xing. Now that River Luo Sacred Sect had 2 Dao Essence Holy Emperors here, it would be a piece of cake to take back Yu Xing's things. Unfortunately, no matter how anxious she felt, she couldn't help Ning Cheng. Help me drag Yu Xing and that Deacon Gorge with him. As Ning Cheng's back disappeared, Kong Ning received another voice transmission from Ning Cheng. Chapter 1032. Dao friend Luo, Dao friend Tong Mingzi, it really makes Yu Xing happy to have the 2 of you visit the Divine Sea City. Please take a seat in the City Lord's mansion. Yu Xing immediately recognized Tong Mingzi and Kong Ning's master. Huh, does City Lord Yu only welcome people from River Luo Sacred Sect and not us? While talking, several people walked out of the teleportation tower. Yu Xing saw a few Dao Essence powerhouses from the 10 major sects among these people and quickly cupped his fists to invite them to the City Lord's mansion as guests. Kong Ning had been paying attention to Deacon Gorge. When she saw Deacon Gorge trying to retreat when Yu Xing greeted him, she hurriedly called out, Dao friend, please wait. You don't welcome my River Luo Sacred Sect. Could it be that you were the one who wanted to attack me previously? What? You dared to kill my disciple. Kong Ning's master looked like a gentle woman but had an extremely bad temper. After hearing Kong Ning's words, she suddenly became furious and stepped forward. Her aura immediately suppressed Deacon Gorge. She had been in seclusion for many years and had almost never cared about Kong Ning. One could say that Kong Ning didn't receive any benefits from her. Now that Kong Ning had succeeded in Tao sculpting through her own efforts, she naturally felt a little apologetic and protective towards Kong Ning. Deacon Gorge felt extremely anxious. He had heard from Yuxing that Kong Ning suddenly had a senior apprentice brother, but he didn't see Kong Ning's senior apprentice brother beside her. Ning Cheng could silently break through the spiritual consciousness shielding restrictions here, but he couldn't do the same. If Ning Cheng was discovered, he could at most escape. As a deacon of the Sea Sky Pavilion, once he was discovered to have forcibly broken through the restrictions in the Divine Sea City, it would turn into a diplomatic dispute. Yuxing naturally didn't want to see the River Luo Sacred City's people clash with the Sea Sky Pavilion Chamber of Commerce here. Therefore, he quickly changed the topic and asked, "Dao friend Kong Ning, where's your senior apprentice brother? Since he's also from River Luo Sacred Sect, let's go to my city lord's mansion. Since Dao friend Luo and Dao friend Tong Mingzi are here, I don't think he needs to rush back to the sect, right?" Yuxing naturally did it on purpose. After listening to Deacon Gorge's words, he vaguely felt that there was something wrong with Ning Cheng. "City Lord Yu, he has something to take care of. By the way, he said that since you can't help him, he wants you to temporarily give me the thing he gave you before," Kong Ning said quickly. In the face of Kong Ning's request, Yuxing naturally didn't dare to disagree. He could only return Ning Cheng's ring and the Dao fruit to Kong Ning. He even felt a little regretful. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have bothered with the messenger flying sword and would have just sent the two of them away. Now, he had lost a Dao fruit and millions of divine crystals for nothing. "Someone from my River Luo sacred sect is here. Who is it?" Tong Mingzi was confused when he heard Kong Ning's vague answer. When Yuxing heard Tong Mingzi's words, coupled with the previous hints from Deacon Gorge, he grew even more suspicious. He simply said, "A while ago, Dao friend Ning came here and said that he was from River Luo Sacred Sect. He wanted to take the teleportation array to the Grand Essence Domain." Later, Dao friend Kong Ning confirmed that he was from River Luo Sacred Sect. Kong Ning spoke up with an ugly expression, "City Lord Yu, you can't talk nonsense. When did I say he was from River Luo Sacred Sect? He's just a friend of mine. I've always called him senior brother." Yuxing froze for a moment. Then, he recalled Kong Ning's words. Kong Ning indeed didn't directly say that the cultivator surnamed Ning was from River Luo Sacred Sect. Instead, she just called him senior brother. Yuxing knew that Kong Ning's words and actions made him misunderstand that this cultivator surnamed Ning was from River Luo Sacred Sect. But he couldn't do anything to Kong Ning. When Deacon Gorge heard this, he immediately knew that things had taken a turn for the worse. He no longer cared about offending anyone and spoke up, "I suddenly have something urgent to attend to. Dao friends, please excuse me. I'll come back to apologize after I'm done." After saying that, Deacon Gorge's figure flashed and disappeared. Watching Deacon Gorge disappear, Kong Ning could only sigh. She could only help up to this point. She couldn't delay Deacon Gorge any longer. Ning Cheng was even more direct this time. He quickly arrived at the entrance of the Spirit Sea City's defensive array and activated the twin wings of the heavenly clouds to rush out. By the time the four cultivators guarding the entrance reacted, Ning Cheng had already disappeared without a trace. By the time Deacon Gorge rushed to the exit of the defensive array, Ning Cheng's starry skywheel had already entered the depths of the Grand Essence Sea. Deacon Gorge's face turned gloomy. He knew that he could no longer chase after Ning Cheng. He couldn't get angry. After all, the Spirit Sea City wasn't his. A few days later, Ning Cheng slowed down. Although Deacon Gorge wasn't in a good mood, he also wasn't in a good mood. Crossing the Grand Essence Sea, Ning Cheng didn't know when he would reach the Grand Essence Domain. Not to mention that he couldn't participate in the Five Realms Pill competition, he wouldn't be able to save Cheng Ho Tian in time. Cheng Ho Tian suffered from the pattern bone poison because of him. Moreover, Cheng Ho Tian was a full-circle Dao essence cultivator. Therefore, Ningqing didn't care about wasting a few years. No matter how powerful the pattern bone poison was, it couldn't kill a Tao Essence Holy Emperor in a few years. Not to mention that Qing Ho Tian was a Tao transformation pill saint. Now that he was forced to cross the Grand Essence Sea, he couldn't guarantee that he could detoxify Qing Ho Tian in time. Ningqing felt helpless. If he had known earlier, he would have given a medicinal pill to Ba Meng. He had already asked Ba Meng to do one thing for him. In fact, that thing was to help Qing Ho Tian bring the sky-extending mark bone pill. It's just that he didn't expect that something would happen to him in the dark nether realm. Now, not to mention how long it would take him to cross the Grand Essence Sea, the Grand Essence Sea contained many dangers. Whether he could cross it or not was another matter. While Ningqing was still thinking about how to cross the Grand Essence Sea, the densely packed Haizi demons had already surrounded him. Ningqing had seen Haizi demonic beasts before, but he didn't know much about them. These demonic beasts had 2 wings and 6 feet, and their main attacks were ice blades and water thorns. What made people disgusted was that the ice blades and water thorns of these demonic beasts were highly toxic. Ningqing had only seen a few dozen Haizi demonic beasts before. But now, hundreds of millions of Haizi demonic beasts appeared around him. Even the most powerful Haizi demonic beasts had a cultivation close to Tao sculpting Holy Emperor. Although these Haizi demonic beasts didn't understand Tao laws, they couldn't handle so many of them. Not understanding Tao laws and the great Tao didn't mean that their attacks didn't contain the laws of heaven and earth. Any living creature that cultivated to a certain level would resonate with the laws of heaven and earth. Even if they didn't comprehend it, they would have an instinct. The Haizi demonic beasts were such demonic beasts, and their demonic poison belonged to one of the laws of heaven and earth. Ningqing shot out one time wheel after another, and the power of the time wheel was fully reflected in this place. No matter how powerful the Haizi demonic beasts were, when the time wheel swept past them, it would only create a vacuum filled with blood mist. But this vacuum would be filled by new Haizi demonic beasts in an instant, and the endless attacks would once again rush towards Ningqing. Ningqing had already brought out the everlasting blue thunder fort. Facing such a terrifying and intensive attack, if he only used his domain to resist, he would most likely die of exhaustion. The Haizi demonic beasts didn't fear death at all. No matter how many died, more Haizi demonic beasts would fill the gap. Not only the nearby Haizi demonic beasts, but as the smell of blood spread out, the Haizi demonic beasts in the distance also flocked towards him. As the overwhelming number of Haizi demonic beasts rushed over, Ningqing killed even more of them. In the end, even some of the other demonic beasts rushed over. In just half an hour, the sea within tens of thousands of miles of the sea was filled with demonic beasts. The space around Ningqing was filled with the Haizi demonic beasts, and he couldn't even see the gaps outside. As Ningqing continued to kill, the debris of the Haizi demonic beasts covered this part of the sea. No matter how many time wheels blasted out, they couldn't open up a path of blood. Ningqing finally stopped. Once the number of demonic beasts reached a certain level, it would undergo a qualitative change. Unless he had the ability to connect heaven and earth, he could wipe out all life within 100,000 miles with a wave of his hand. Maybe he could do it in a low-level law-based interface, and he could even crush a planet with a wave of his hand. But in a law-based interface like the Grand Essence Realm, he couldn't do it. If he continued to kill, he would either die under the siege of these sea demons or attract even more powerful sea demons. On the periphery of these Haizi demonic beasts, a man and a woman watched as the Haizi demonic beasts besieged Ningqing. The man's long hair was tied into an immortal bun, and he had a jade-like face. The woman not only had a tall figure, but she also had a curvaceous figure. Her slightly tight-fitting clothes highlighted her slender waist. She had a beautiful, flawless face, which was enough to make any woman jealous. She had an enchanting figure, a beautiful face, and a dignified demeanor. The man and woman stood in the void, looking like a pair of celestial couples, elegant and refined. "Brother man, why do you think the high demonic beasts are attacking this person so crazily?" The woman looked at the high demonic beasts rushing towards Ning Cheng and asked softly. The man called Brother Man pondered for a moment before speaking. "There are only two explanations. One is that this person offended the high demonic beasts, and the other is that this person has something that the high demonic beasts desire." At this point, Brother Man paused for a moment before continuing. "The high demonic beasts are most sensitive to innate origin and primal chaos aura. I heard that a 5 elements planet appeared on the edge of the Grand Essence realm recently, and the 5 elements planet contains primal chaos chi of the 5 elements. Although the primal chaos chi of the 5 elements isn't pure primal chaos aura, it's still extremely powerful. Could it be?" Brother Man stopped, but the woman already understood what Brother Man meant. "Brother Man, you mean?" Brother Man nodded. "Yes, as long as this person stayed in the primal chaos chi of the 5 elements, the primal chaos chi of the 5 elements would remain in his body for a short time. I have to save this person." "Okay, let's do it together," the beautiful woman quickly said. With Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness, the reason why he didn't want to continue attacking was not only because he couldn't kill the high demonic beasts, but also because a man and a woman were watching him from a distance. The high demonic beasts didn't attack the man and woman, but only attacked him, which made Ning Cheng puzzled. Ning Cheng was just about to bring out the first bridge of coping. This time, he didn't bring out the first bridge of coping purely to kill the high demonic beasts, but to use the first bridge of coping to cross the high demonic beasts and escape. But at this moment, he saw the man and woman make their move. Chapter 1033. The male cultivator was at the late-stage Dao birth while the female cultivator was at the mid-stage Dao birth. Ning Cheng believed that even if these two people besieged him, he would still be able to easily kill them. Now, even he couldn't kill the Hei's demon, could these two be able to? The facts soon forced Ning Cheng to believe that these two people really could do it. The two Saint Emperors did not even take out their magic treasures. The male cultivator just took out a fire dragon spirit technique, and the Heizi demons all moved aside. Some of the Heizi demons who couldn't move away in time were directly killed by the fire dragon. The female cultivator did not do anything and just followed behind the male cultivator. Could it be that the Heizi demons were afraid of fire? Ning Cheng had some doubts in his heart. In terms of fire god art, he had it too. His maximal flame spiritual art was originally a spiritual art that simulated the spatial laws, but now, he had completely changed it into a fire spiritual art. Moreover, his celestial river flame was much more powerful compared to this male cultivator's flame. Could it be that the fire dragon he shot out was even stronger than the time wheel? Ning Cheng did not try to bring out the celestial river flame. His spiritual consciousness could sense that the fire dragon spirit technique brought out by this male cultivator contained another kind of aura. It wasn't the fire dragon god art that forced them back, it was the aura that forced them back. "This Dao friend, if you don't mind, please come with us." The male cultivator's speed was very fast, and in less than half an incense stick worth of time, they had already arrived within a few kilometers of Ning Cheng. Not only that, other than some other demonic beasts, there were almost no Heizi demons in the passageway that his fire dragon opened up. Ning Cheng didn't stand on ceremony, nor did he bring out the first bridge of coping. Instead, a time wheel swept out and landed not far from the male and female sage emperors before cupping his fists. "Many thanks for your help." The male cultivator smiled and said, "Even if I don't take action, Dao friend definitely has a way to escape. This isn't the place to talk. Let's find another place to talk." While speaking, the male cultivator summoned a flying ship and flew out of the tunnel that had yet to be closed by the Heizi monster. Ning Cheng also brought out the starry sky wheel and followed behind this male cultivator. After the time it took for a stick of incense to burn, there were no more sea demons around the three of them, not even a single sea demon. My name is Jiang Man, this is my Dao companion Muyueping. If Dao friend doesn't mind, you can come to my airship. After rushing out of the horde of Haizi demons, the male cultivator stopped the airship and invited Ning Cheng with cupped fists. Ning Cheng put away the starry sky wheel without hesitation and landed on Jiang Man's airship with a single step. He then spoke up again, "Rogue cultivator Ning Cheng, many thanks for the help from the two Dao friends." Seeing Ning Cheng land on his airship without even the slightest bit of defense, Jiang Man felt somewhat puzzled in his heart. Was this Ning Cheng really that careless? A Dao molding divine emperor dared to get on the ship of two Dao nourishment divine emperors? Ning Cheng saw Jiang Man's doubts, but he did not care about it. Jiang Man Muyueping's cultivation level was only at the Dao birth realm, so the restrictions on this flying boat were ordinary in his eyes. Even if Jiang Man and Muyueping attacked him, he could easily kill the two of them. Muyueping also felt a little surprised, but she immediately smiled and spoke to Ning Cheng. Elder brother Man said that even if we don't do anything, Dao friend Ning can easily escape. Fellow Daoist Ning must be wondering how we were able to break through the encirclement of the Hei's monsters so easily, right? In fact, in the Grand Essence Sea, the Hei's monsters are the most difficult to deal with and the easiest to deal with. They are difficult to deal with because the Hei's monsters move in groups. Once they move out, they are boundless and have no fear of death. The more they die, the more they can be replenished. Jiang Man said with a smile while inviting Ning Cheng to sit down. Ning Cheng had just sat down when Muyueping poured a cup of spirit tea for Ning Cheng. Then why do you say that the Hei's monsters are easy to deal with? Ning Cheng asked in confusion. Jiang Man chuckled, because the Hei's monsters are most afraid of the thousand-color stone's aura. As long as a cultivator infuses the thousand-color stone's aura into a spirit technique when attacking the Hei's monsters will immediately escape. My previous attack had also infused the thousand-color stone's aura, and the Hei's monsters were able to dodge to the side. Ning Cheng suddenly understood. No wonder only the Hei's monsters hid to the side when Jiang Man attacked, and the other sea demons didn't have much of an impact. This is the thousand-color stone. Jiang Man took out a stone and placed it on the table. Ning Cheng picked up the stone and looked at it. He found that the stone looked very ordinary, but the colors on it were all over the place. If I didn't guess wrong, Dao friend Ning should have been to 5 Elements planet and even seen the primal chaos chi. The Hei's monsters are most sensitive to innate origins and primal chaos chi. Cultivators can't feel this kind of aura, but the Hei's monsters can. Jiang Man said with a smile. Ning Cheng suddenly understood. No wonder the Hei's monsters didn't spare him. However, Ning Cheng knew that it wasn't because of the primal chaos chi in his body, but because of the starry sky wheel. Ning Cheng felt even more confident in his cultivation method and senses. He believed that after such a long time, he wouldn't be able to feel the 5 elements origin chi anymore. If the mysterious yellow formless couldn't even do this, then it wouldn't be a top-notch cultivation method. Because he had been on the run, he didn't care about the starry sky wheel. After he rushed out of 5 Elements planet, he brought the 5 Elements origin chi to the starry sky wheel and kept it there. Many thanks for Dao friend Zhang's reminder. I have indeed been to 5 Elements planet. Because of this, I ended up being chased into the Grand Essence Sea. If it weren't for the 2 Dao friends, I might still be trapped by the Hei's monsters. After understanding the reason, Ning Cheng felt relieved. Jiang Man's eyes lit up when he heard Ning Cheng's words. He seemed to want to say something but hesitated for a long time. Ning Cheng naturally understood Jiang Man's intentions. So, without waiting for Jiang Man to speak, he took the initiative to speak. Dao friend Jiang, I heard that the Grand Essence Sea is extremely dangerous. Moreover, the northernmost part of the Grand Essence Sea is filled with sea demons without any spiritual wisdom. Why would the 2 of you appear here? After Jiang Man heard Ning Cheng's words, he smiled. Dao friend Ning, you shouldn't come here often, right? The northernmost part of the Grand Essence Sea is barren, but there is a secret bazaar here. We are going to the secret bazaar. Secret bazaar. Ning Cheng looked at Jiang Man in doubt. Jiang Man patiently explained, the secret bazaar in the north of the Grand Essence Sea is about a month's journey away from the Spirit Sea City. It mainly sells or trades things that can't see the light of day. Ning Cheng instantly understood and asked, is it similar to a place to dispose of stolen goods? Jiang Man nodded with a smile. Some of the treasures obtained from the edge of the Grand Essence Sea don't dare to sell them in the big cities. Therefore, they choose to sell them in the secret bazaar. Moreover, some of the rewards that can't see the light of day are also posted in the secret bazaar. Not to mention that many people from the edge of the Grand Essence Sea go to the secret bazaar, even some sects from the Grand Essence Sea and some sects from the Grand Essence Domain come to the secret bazaar. Ning Cheng understood Jiang Man's words. Some disciples from big sects had very valuable treasures. Once these people died, these valuable treasures couldn't be sold openly. Therefore, they would choose to sell them in the secret bazaar. However, Ning Cheng immediately grasped the main point of Jiang Man's words and quickly asked, Dao friend Jiang, I can understand if you say that someone from the Grand Essence Sea goes to the secret bazaar. But how far is the Grand Essence Domain from here? Why would someone come to the secret bazaar? Did he take the teleportation array to the Spirit Sea City before coming to the secret bazaar? Jiang Man shook his head. To go to the secret bazaar from the Grand Essence Domain, one doesn't necessarily have to pass through the Spirit Sea City. Some people can also go to the secret bazaar through the Grand Essence Sea. It's just that it's a bit more troublesome. Please enlighten me. Ning Cheng stood up and cupped his fists. Dao friend Ning, please take a seat. From the Grand Essence Domain to the secret bazaar, one has to go through several teleportation arrays. The Grand Essence Domain's Thousand Leaves Sacred City has a teleportation array that connects directly to the Grand Essence Sea's Sunken Fish Palace. The Sunken Fish Palace also has a teleportation array that connects directly to the Silver Dragon Clan. After reaching the Silver Dragon Clan, one can also teleport to the Sea Dragon Sacred City. The Sea Dragon Sacred City has an ultra-long-distance teleportation array that connects directly to the secret bazaar. Jiang Man replied in detail. Ning Cheng felt ecstatic. This meant that he could go to the Grand Essence Domain without going through the Spirit Sea City's teleportation array. Whether it was the Sunken Fish Palace or the Silver Dragon Clan, he had a good relationship with them. Moreover, if he passed through their territory, no one would deliberately stop him. Dao friend Jiang, what is the Sea Dragon Sacred City? Ning Cheng asked with gratitude. Jiang Man still explained patiently, when the Grand Essence realm was still in its perfect state, there were 10 dragon clans in the Grand Essence Sea. The Sea Dragon Sacred City is a huge sea city jointly built by the 10 dragon clans. There used to be a saying that in the Sea Dragon Sacred City, there are only things you can't think of, but nothing you can't buy. What a big tone. Ning Cheng sighed. How dare he say such words? Did the Sea Dragon Sacred City also have good fortune treasures? Jiang Man smiled and said, of course, it was a long time ago. The Grand Essence Realm's laws have shattered, and the 10 dragon clans of the Grand Essence Sea have now withered. Only the Barbarian Dragon Clan and the Silver Dragon Clan remain. The 5-clawed Divine Dragon Clan, which once dominated the entire Grand Essence Realm, has disappeared. Although the current Sea Dragon Sacred City is still prosperous, it's far from what it used to be. After that, Jiang Man looked at Ning Cheng with a smile. Does Brother Ning want to go to the Grand Essence Domain through the Grand Essence Sea? Ning Cheng didn't hide it and said directly, yes, a powerhouse chased me to the Grand Essence Sea. I can only go to the Grand Essence Domain through here. The two of us are going to the secret bazaar. Let's go together. Jiang Man invited. Ning Cheng didn't know how to go to the secret bazaar, so how could he refuse Jiang Man's invitation? Many thanks, Dao friend Jiang. I also plan to go to the secret bazaar. If it weren't for you and your wife, I wouldn't have known about the existence of the secret bazaar. The secret bazaar has many powerhouses, and there are no rules of conduct. Dao friend Ning should be careful. Jiang Man tried to persuade Ning Cheng after hearing his words. Even without Jiang Man's persuasion, Ning Cheng knew to keep a low profile. He was afraid that the Deacon Gorge would guess that he would go to the secret bazaar and wait for him there. Dao friend Ning, I have a presumptuous request. After Jiang Man answered Ning Cheng's words, he hesitated for a while before speaking up. Dao friend Jiang, please speak. Ning Cheng got a lot of information from Jiang Man and was in a good mood. He could guess what Jiang Man wanted, but he didn't know how to refuse. After all, Jiang Man didn't exchange the information he already knew. Instead, he told Ning Cheng the truth, which made Ning Cheng feel awkward. I don't know if Dao friend Ning has any 5-element chaos chi on you. I want to buy some fire-attributed chaos chi from Dao friend Ning. Jiang Man stood up and bowed to Ning Cheng. Chapter 1034. Ning Cheng looked at Jiang Man in doubt. Dao friend Jiang, there's no one else here. You and your wife have far higher cultivation than me. Since you've determined that I have the 5-element chaos chi, why don't you just rob me? Why do you choose to exchange with me? Despite what he said, Ning Cheng still suspected that Jiang Man would take out something to exchange with him. The 5-element chaos chi wasn't an ordinary thing, and it couldn't be exchanged for casually. After Jiang Man heard Ning Cheng's words, his face immediately turned serious as he spoke. Dao friend Ning, could it be that when you meet a cultivator with a lower cultivation than you would choose to rob them? Ning Cheng smiled, I have my own principles, and I won't go as far as robbing others. Could it be that the two of you have the same principles as me? Jiang Man spoke with admiration. There aren't many cultivators like Dao friend Ning who have their own principles. I cultivate the Tao of karma. Everything has its own cause and effect. If I rob Dao friend Ning today, someone will rob me in the future. Karma is the cycle of retribution. Ning Cheng suddenly felt moved. As a Tao sculpting holy emperor who had been in the Grand Essence realm for a long time, he had naturally heard of the Tao of karma. It was definitely one of the strongest Taos in the world. Most of the Taos in the world had karmic entanglements. The reason why his grand Tao of returning to one didn't have karmic entanglements wasn't because he was strong, but because of his mysterious yellow bead. An inexplicable thought suddenly appeared in Ning Cheng's consciousness. He had the mysterious yellow bead, which meant that he might become a supreme powerhouse in the future. Didn't that mean that there was a karmic connection between him and the mysterious yellow bead? It was just that the karmic connection between him and the mysterious yellow bead was so high that it surpassed all other karmic connections. Ning Cheng quickly put this thought aside and said with cupped fists, I've heard that the Tao of karma is the strongest Tao in the world. Congratulations, brother Jiang. Jiang Man shook his head with a bitter smile, I'm just putting gold on my face. Although I cultivate the Tao of karma, I haven't touched the edge of the Tao of karma so far. Ning Cheng asked in confusion, Brother Jiang should have a Tao birth realm cultivation, right? As a Tao birth holy emperor, Brother Jiang hasn't even touched the edge of the Tao of karma? Jiang Man looked at Ning Cheng with a serious expression and asked, has Tao friend Ning heard of the 10 grand spirit techniques of the vast universe? Ning Cheng remembered the words he had heard before and immediately said, is it true that Tai Chi has yin and yang, grand essence spirit thunder, grand beginning has spirit light, grand beginning has spirit marks, and grand change has formlessness? Dao friend Ning is only partially correct. Although I don't know the complete list of the top 10 spirit techniques, I do know that the Tai Chi yin yang spirit technique and the grand essence spirit technique aren't within the top 10 spirit techniques. Jiang Man said flatly. Ning Cheng knew nothing about this kind of thing. Now that Jiang Man mentioned it, he quickly asked, please enlighten me, elder brother Jiang. Jiang Man said solemnly, I don't know about the first and second sacred arts, but I do know that the third sacred art is the formless Tai and the karma sacred art is ranked fourth. Ning Cheng had always thought that since the Grand Change realm was the number one spirit technique in the 5 realms, the Grand Change formless spirit technique should also be the number one spirit technique. According to Jiang Man, the formless Tai sacred art was only ranked third. What about the other spirit techniques? Ning Cheng asked again. Jiang Man sighed, although I cultivate the karma Tao, I only know about the karma spirit technique. Even if I try to comprehend it until now, I still don't know anything about it. As for the 5th sacred art among the top 10, I also don't know what it is. However, I know about the 6th, 7th, and 8th sacred art. The 6th sacred art is the samsara spirit technique, the 7th sacred art is the grand essence spirit mark, and the 8th sacred art is the grand beginning spirit light. Ning Cheng asked in surprise, Dao friend Jiang, as far as I know, the samsara spirit technique is only the 7th of the 7 bridges spirit techniques. How did the samsara spirit technique become the 6th sacred art, but the 7 bridges spirit technique doesn't? Because of the shock from the top 10 spirit techniques, Ning Cheng didn't understand the meaning behind Jiang Man's words. That is, he, Jiang Man, could comprehend the karma spirit technique, which naturally meant that he had the Tao method of the karma spirit technique. Jiang Man smiled and said, I don't quite understand this. I know that senior told me about it. Maybe the 7 bridges spirit technique is the 9th sacred art, or even the 10th. Ning Cheng didn't ask again. He knew that since the samsara spirit technique was placed as the 6th sacred art, then the 7 bridges spirit technique would never enter the top 10. Dao friend Jiang, I do have a little bit of the 5-element chaos chi. But even if I sell it to Dao friend Jiang doesn't have anything to store it. Ning Cheng finally answered Jiang Man's words. Jiang Man was a person worth trading with. Ning Cheng didn't say how much he needed to exchange for the 5-element chaos chi. He knew that since Jiang Man cultivated the Tao of karma, he wouldn't treat him badly. Jiang Man took out a black strip made of unknown materials and handed it to Ning Cheng. Dao friend Ning, this is the karma Tao strip I obtained. It contains the karma spirit technique. I want to lend this Tao strip to Brother Ning for 10,000 years in exchange for a trace of fire-attributed chaos chi. Brother Man. Mu Yueping on the side, on seeing Jiang Man take out the black strip, called out in surprise. She knew that this was the most valuable thing on Jiang Man. Ning Cheng looked at the black Tao strip in Jiang Man's hand with a sluggish look. If this really was the karma Tao strip, then his trace of fire-attributed chaos chi was far from enough to exchange. Even if there was a time limit, it still wouldn't be enough. Jiang Man had said that the karma spirit technique was the 4th most powerful spirit technique in the vast universe. Jiang Man waved his hand at Mu Yueping and spoke to Ning Cheng with a smile, Dao friend Ning, I cultivated the Tao of karma because of this Tao strip. The origin of this Tao strip is unknown, but I'm sure that this Tao strip contains the karma spirit technique. It's just that my aptitude is poor, and even after tens of thousands of years, I still couldn't obtain it. I can use this Tao strip for 10,000 years in exchange for a trace of fire-attributed chaos chi from Dao friend Ning, which is a bargain. Ning Cheng didn't take the Tao strip but asked in a deep voice, Dao friend Jiang, how will I return this Tao strip to you after 10,000 years? Jiang Man felt satisfied with Ning Cheng's words and nodded, I cultivate the karma spirit technique, and this Tao strip contains my karma imprint. After 10,000 years, this Tao strip will automatically escape from Brother Ning's hands and return to me. Ning Cheng showed a smile at the corner of his mouth. This Jiang Man truly had confidence in himself. Did he believe that he couldn't crack his karma imprint in 10,000 years? Besides, even if he couldn't crack it, he could just throw the Tao strip into the mysterious yellow bead, and the Tao strip wouldn't escape. However, Ning Cheng didn't intend to do so. If he couldn't comprehend the karma spirit technique in 10,000 years, then this Tao strip would have no use for him. Besides, the two sides had completed the transaction in a fair and proper manner, so he would never do such a shameless thing. Then how can I hand over the fire-attributed chaos chi to Dao friend Jiang? Ning Qing appreciated Jiang Man's trading method. This was a completely honest transaction. Jiang Man didn't ask him how much fire-attributed chaos chi he wanted and gave him the initiative. Jiang Man spoke with a dignified voice, "It will take a month to reach the secret bazaar from here. Brother Ning just needs to inject a trace of chaos chi into my zifu." Okay. Ning Qing agreed without hesitation. 1 month was enough for Jiang Man to refine the trace of fire-attributed chaos chi. May I ask what is Dao friend Mu's main spiritual root? Ning Qing didn't directly bring out the fire-attributed chaos chi, but instead asked Mu Yueping. Mu Yueping spoke up in doubt, "I have a main metal spiritual root." Ning Qing immediately spoke up, "Well, I'll use a trace of fire origin chaos chi and a trace of metal origin chaos chi in exchange for Brother Zhang's karma Dao strip for 10,000 years. When Jiang Man heard Ning Qing's words, he understood that Ning Qing didn't want to take advantage of him. In fact, he knew that Ning Qing didn't want to take advantage of him. The karma spirit technique had a huge reputation, but it was too difficult to comprehend it. He said that his aptitude was poor, but so far, he really hadn't seen anyone with a better aptitude than him, Jiang Man. Even he couldn't comprehend the karma spirit technique after tens of thousands of years, so how could Ning Qing comprehend it? Then wouldn't we husband and wife? Jiang Man had a good impression of Ning Qing. Ning Qing waved his hand and said, "Dao friend Jiang is too polite, but I can't be too stingy. Dao friend Jiang and Dao friend Mu should prepare to accept the 5-element chaos chi. Brother Man, I'll accept it later." Mu Yueping quickly spoke up. When Ning Qing heard Mu Yueping's words, he immediately understood Mu Yueping's meaning. Mu Yueping felt afraid that the two of them would fall into the process of refining the 5-element chaos chi. Jiang Man also understood Mu Yueping's meaning. He waved his hand and said, "No need. I'll have to trouble Dao friend Ning to protect us while we refine the 5-element chaos chi." After that, Jiang Man also took out a positional jade strip and handed it to Ning Qing. At the same time, he also handed over the control of the airship to Ning Qing. Jiang Man said these words and did these things because he believed in Ning Qing's character. Moreover, he believed that even if Ning Qing had any ulterior motives, he could stop him in time. Refining the 5-element chaos chi wasn't like going into seclusion. Mu Yueping listened to Jiang Man's words and understood Jiang Man's meaning. She nodded and said, "Okay, then I'll have to trouble Dao friend Ning." Ning Qing didn't say much. He directly took out the measureless gourd, grabbed a fire-attributed chaos chi from it, and slapped it into Jiang Man's glabella. Then he grabbed a metal-attributed chaos chi and slapped it into Mu Yueping's glabella. Feeling the primal chaos aura coming from Ning Qing, Jiang Man felt overjoyed. It was much more than what he had said. But before he could thank Ning Qing, the raging fire-attributed chaos chi rushed into his zifu. At this moment, he found that apart from refining the chaos chi, he couldn't do anything else. Jiang Man's heart sank slightly, and the joy he felt just now had long since disappeared. He saw that Mu Yueping, just like him, couldn't stand up at all. In other words, if Ning Qing made a move now, he and Mu Yueping wouldn't have the slightest ability to resist. Ning Qing giving out so much 5-element chaos chi at once put him and his wife in a predicament. He couldn't help but doubt it. In fact, many people live in the secret bazaar for a long time and cultivate here. As such, the spirit chi here is naturally abundant. Jiang Man explained while winking at Ning Qing. Ning Qing knew that although no one came looking for him, he was already being watched. Jiang Man wanted to take him to the secret bazaar's identity card. Jiang Man was reminding him not to comment on other things before this. With Jiang Man as a guarantor, Ning Qing easily got the identity card for the secret bazaar. Ning Qing didn't want to delay Jiang Man's matters. After getting the identity card, he said, "Brother Jiang, you can go to the secret bazaar to do your thing. With the identity card, I can teleport to the Sea Dragon's sacred city by myself." Jiang Man said with a solemn expression, "We were just trading, but now we're friends. Since someone is chasing you, I should accompany you to the Sea Dragon's sacred city." Ning Qing smiled and said, "As long as there's a way to teleport away from here, I won't be afraid of the guy chasing me. No matter how bold he is, he wouldn't dare to chase me to the Grand Essence domain." Ning Qing didn't talk big. With his current reputation, no one would dare to make a move against him in public, let alone an early-stage minor Dao Essence on the edge of the Grand Essence Sea. "Big Brother Ning, you should listen to Brother Man. After all, you haven't reached the Dao Birth Realm yet, and Brother Man is about to reach the full circle of the Dao Birth Realm." Even Mu Yueping on the side began to persuade Ning Qing. Ning Qing felt a little helpless. He couldn't say that although he was a Dao sculpting cultivator, he wouldn't fear the two of them together. "Brother Jiang, junior apprentice Sister Mu, you saw my flight-type weapon before. If I go alone, my flight-type weapon can move faster. Besides, the person I offended is a Dao Essence powerhouse. Even if the three of us join forces, we wouldn't be his opponent." Ning Cheng's words were tantamount to saying that if my enemy chased me, it would be a Dao Essence powerhouse. Even if the three of us joined forces, it wouldn't help. Even if you followed me, you wouldn't be able to help. Jiang Man and Mu Yueping immediately understood Ning Cheng's meaning. The two hesitated but didn't say anything to accompany Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng was right. If they faced a Dao Essence Holy Emperor, even if the two of them joined forces, they would still die. On the contrary, it would be easier for Ning Cheng to escape alone. "Okay, then we'll send you to the teleportation array." Jiang Man was very straightforward. After understanding the truth, he immediately sent Ning Qing away. The Black Market's teleportation array to the Sea Dragon's sacred city wasn't used much because the price was even more outrageous compared to the Spirit Sea City. Just teleporting from the Black Market to the Sea Dragon's sacred city required 5 million spirit crystals. After a few more teleportations, even without 10 million spirit crystals, it would still be quite far. "Brother Ning, you can go to the teleportation array. In a few years, we might also go to the Grand Essence domain." Jiang Man and Mu Yueping sent Ning Qing to the teleportation array. Ning Qing took out a jade bottle and handed it to Jiang Man. "Brother Jiang, junior apprentice Sister Mu, we'll meet again. I'm an alchemy master, so I'll give these 2 medicinal pills to you." Jiang Man didn't care about it. He took the jade bottle and watched Ning Qing leave. "Brother Man, what kind of person do you think Big Brother Ning is?" After seeing Ning Qing off, Mu Yueping asked in a low voice. Jiang Man smiled and said, "Ning Qing is open and aboveboard. He's completely different from those unscrupulous people we've seen before. For him to obtain that thing, he's also a person with great luck. Becoming friends with him is my biggest gain from this trip to the secret bazaar." While talking, Jiang Man casually opened the jade bottle, but the next moment, he instantly closed the jade bottle. "What's wrong?" Mu Yueping and Jiang Man had a tacit understanding. "It's 2 purple Heaven Dao pills." Jiang Man replied. "Ah." The teleportation array from the secret bazaar to the Sea Dragon sacred city was definitely an ultra-long-distance teleportation array. Even with Ning Cheng's cultivation, he still felt dizzy. As soon as Ning Cheng walked out of the teleportation array, he felt the prosperity of the Sea Dragon sacred city that Jiang Man spoke about. Before this, the most prosperous sacred city Ning Cheng had ever seen was the Heaven Essence sacred city. After coming to the Sea Dragon sacred city and seeing the scenery here, Ning Cheng felt sure that the Heaven Essence sacred city wasn't as prosperous as the Sea Dragon sacred city. This was the scene after the Grand Essence realm's laws shattered and the Grand Essence Sea's 10 major dragon clans withered. Through this scene, Ning Cheng could already imagine how prosperous the Sea Dragon sacred city was many years ago when the 10 major dragon clans were still around. Kneel. A sharp voice sounded from the distant street, and Ning Cheng saw the people around him step aside. In the middle of the spacious old street, a woman riding a flood dragon beast was whipping a tall man with disheveled hair. From the looks of it, the word kneel came from the woman riding the flood dragon beast. Most likely, the tall man with disheveled hair had offended her. Ning Cheng didn't care about it. There were too many such things, and he wasn't qualified to care about them. Because the teleportation array leading from the Sea Dragon Sacred City to the Silver Dragon Clan was not the same as the teleportation array leading to the Secret Bazaar. What he needed to do now was to reach the teleportation array leading to the Silver Dragon Clan as soon as possible. Chapter 1036. Originally, Ning Cheng didn't intend to make a move. But after seeing that this person was Mo, he immediately changed his mind. Mo's cultivation should be equivalent to the full circle eternal realm, while the woman riding the flood dragon should be at the middle stage Dao sculpting realm. No matter how powerful a martial cultivator was, Mo shouldn't be able to fight against a middle stage Dao sculpting realm cultivator with his eternal cultivation. Facing the woman's command to kneel, Mo just closed his mouth and didn't say a word. The woman's eyes showed a trace of sarcasm, and the whip came down again. If one were to say that the previous whip was just to give Mo some physical pain, then this whip would definitely be able to break one of Mo's arms. The whip contained the Dao charm laws. If it lashed out at a cultivator equivalent to the eternal realm, it would be strange if it didn't tear off an arm. Although Mo was just a martial cultivator, he obviously had extraordinary knowledge. When he saw the whip, he knew that he had lost an arm. But he still didn't move and even closed his eyes. Perhaps he knew that even if he moved, he couldn't move. When the whip landed, there was no sound at all. Even Mo opened his eyes in disbelief. The cultivators around them were silent, and no one spoke at this time. Everyone stared at the whip, because the whip of the Dao sculpting woman riding on the flood dragon beast did not hit Mo. Her whip had been grabbed by someone. A Dao sculpting holy emperor's whip that contained laws of Dao charm fell without a sound. How could this person be weak? This person was at least a late-stage Dao nourishment holy emperor, or even stronger. The woman holding the whip was also shocked. She sobered up after a while and said in anger, "Who are you? How dare you stop me?" Ning Cheng's hand shook, and the woman's whip fell into his hand. Forgive people when possible. Why is Dao friend so aggressive? Who are you? The woman finally calmed down and stared at Ning Cheng calmly. At the same time, she urged the flood dragon beast to take a few steps back. She was afraid that Ning Cheng would suddenly attack her. Ning Cheng said with a calm voice, "A rogue cultivator. He's my friend. I don't know how he offended Dao friend. I don't think Dao friend lost anything, so let's just forget about it." Hearing Ning Cheng say that he was Mo's friend and a rogue cultivator, the woman's expression suddenly turned fierce. She raised her hand and threw out a beam of red light. She then said, "If you don't scram in 3 breaths, then you can die with this ant." If Ning Cheng was a disciple of a major academy, then she would have some fear, but a rogue cultivator also dared to meddle in her affairs. She naturally did not think that Ning Cheng was lying. Any disciple of an academy, in this kind of situation, would not say that they were rogue cultivators, as this was related to the face of the academy. If Ning Cheng said that he was a rogue cultivator, then he really was a rogue cultivator. Ning Cheng's complexion turned cold, as he suddenly clasped his hands together. The long whip that he had snatched from his hands suddenly gave out a burst of crackling sounds. A moment later, the long whip turned into a pile of slag as Ning Cheng threw it onto the street. "If you dare to make a move again, then this whip will be your head." After Ning Cheng melted the whip with his flames, his tone turned ice cold. As such, Ning Cheng naturally knew that there was only one way to deal with unreasonable cultivators, and that was to be even more unreasonable than the other party. The woman sucked in a breath of cold air. She guessed that Ning Cheng was most likely a Dao Nourishment late-stage Holy Emperor. Her long whip was a mid-grade god artifact after all. Who could casually turn a mid-grade god artifact into scraps? Turning a middle-grade divine artifact into slag casually, apart from having a strong cultivation level, could also be done by an artifact crafting master. Artifact crafting masters knew the structure of divine artifacts like the back of their hands, so they could naturally do it. Ning Cheng, on the other hand, was a high-level artifact crafting master. He could also casually refine middle-grade divine artifacts, let alone destroy an ordinary middle-grade divine artifact. The woman did not dare to speak again, while the people around her marveled at Ning Cheng's strength. Junior Sister Xiuqian, what's going on? 3 figures landed next to the woman riding the flood dragon beast. The one who asked was a young man with half silver hair and half red hair. There were 2 women next to the man, one of whom wore a veil over her face and had an indifferent expression. The other woman was tall and slender, and she also had a head of silver hair. To Ning Cheng's surprise, he knew the indifferent woman with a veil over her face. She was from the Sunken Fish Palace. This woman had gone to his place with Qin Rushuan and Zhongmeng Yuxiu and asked him for 2 Bodhi pills. Among the 3 people who came, the woman with the veil over her face had the highest cultivation level at the early stage Dao transformation realm. In addition, the silver-haired young man was at the mid-stage Dao birth realm. The other tall silver-haired woman had the same cultivation level as junior sister Xiuqian, who was riding the flood dragon beast. They were both at the mid-stage Dao modeling realm. This person wants to teach me a lesson. He destroyed my whip. Upon seeing these people come over, the woman riding the flood dragon beast immediately removed the fear on her face. She flew down and stood in the middle of the 3 people before pointing at Ning Cheng. Upon hearing what the woman called Xiuqian said, the red-haired man walked out. He cupped his fists at Ning Cheng and said, "I'm Gong Qi from the Silver Dragon clan. Why did you attack junior sister Xiuqian from the Sunken Fish Palace? Why did you destroy her Dharma treasure?" Ning Cheng seemed to be at the late-stage Dao modeling realm, but Gong Qi did not dare to be careless. Sure enough, he was from the Silver Dragon clan. Ning Cheng from the Silver Dragon clan knew Gong Huayu and the silver-haired woman. They could even be considered friends. Gong Qi told them about his background and Xiuqian's background. Apart from the mysterious fairy ancient clan, which never came out, in the Grand Essence Sea, the Silver Dragon clan and the Sunken Fish Palace were powerful existences second only to the Barbarian Dragon clan. They were also among the top 10 sects of the Grand Essence realm. Gong Qi naturally wanted Ning Cheng to report his background. If they were both from the big sects, everyone would naturally negotiate with each other. In fact, Gong Qi also thought that Ning Cheng's origin was not ordinary. Would an ordinary person dare to meddle in the affairs of the Sea Dragon's sacred city? Did he think that he had lived enough? This is all my fault, it's not this friend's fault. I accidentally startled that flood dragon beast. If there's anything, come at me. Mo, who had not spoken, suddenly stepped forward. He had been in the Sea Dragon's sacred city for a long time. How could he not know the power of the Silver Dragon clan and the Sunken Fish Palace? He did not want to implicate Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng was a rogue cultivator like him. Once he offended these 2 sects, he might not even be able to reincarnate. Ning Cheng was about to speak when his eyes suddenly twitched. He saw Deacon Xia in the crowd. This guy was really persistent. He actually chased him all the way to the Sea Dragon's sacred city. When Ning Cheng looked at Deacon Xia was still staring at Ning Cheng. He did not act rashly. Instead, he stood in the crowd and watched the show. Ning Cheng's heart sank. He knew that Deacon Xia had recognized him. If not for Mo, Ning Cheng was sure that he would have teleported away by now. As long as he was a step faster than Deacon Xia, it would be fine. Now that he was delayed because of Mo, this guy actually caught up. Since Deacon Xia could chase him all the way here, it meant that he was determined not to let Ning Cheng leave the Sea Dragon's sacred city. Ning Cheng was sure that once his conflict with the Silver Dragon clan and the Sunken Fish Palace ended, Deacon Xia would take the initiative to find trouble with him and then take the opportunity to take him away. Even if the conflict was too intense, Deacon Xia would appear to help and take him away. After hesitating for a while, Ning Cheng sent a message to Ba Meng. Among his good friends, apart from Cheng Ho Tian, only Ba Meng had the highest cultivation. Cheng Ho Tian was still poisoned and was in Heaven Essence Sacred City. Even if Ning Cheng wanted to ask him for help, there was no other way. Ba Meng had always been in the Grand Essence Sea, so maybe he could come here faster. Although Ba Meng was a half-step Dao Essence cultivator, it wasn't because he didn't have enough accumulation of Dao Essence, but because his Dao heart couldn't be perfected. It was all because of his son, Ba Luo. In the Dark Nether Realm, Ning Cheng had given Ba Meng a 6-yin soul pill. Maybe Ba Luo would wake up. Once Ba Luo woke up, Ba Meng's Dao heart would immediately be perfected, and it wouldn't be impossible for him to reach Dao Essence Realm in an instant. After all, not everyone could use a place like the Dragon Cleansing Pool. As long as Ba Meng reached Dao Essence Realm, with his help, it would be possible to kill this Deacon Xia. Therefore, in his message to Ba Meng, if he reached Dao Essence Realm, he should immediately come to the Sea Dragon's sacred city. If he didn't reach Dao Essence Realm, he shouldn't come. If Ba Meng didn't come, he could only rely on the bead condensed from his spiritual consciousness to escape. Since he couldn't escape through the teleportation array, he could only use the Starry Sky Wheel to cross the Grand Essence Sea. Seeing Ning Cheng not speaking, everyone thought that Ning Cheng was afraid. Big Brother Qi, he's just a rogue cultivator. He was arrogant before and didn't put Sea Dragon's sacred city in his eyes at all. Xiu Qian also thought that Ning Cheng was afraid and spoke with sarcasm. When Gong Qi heard this, he looked at Ning Cheng's silent appearance, and a cruel sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. Since he was a rogue cultivator, then don't blame him for being rude. Late-stage Dao sculpting, it was just a joke in his eyes. He didn't directly attack Ning Cheng but raised his hand to grab Mo. He wanted to crush Mo to death in Sea Dragon's sacred city and then ask Ning Cheng where he got the courage to act wildly in Sea Dragon's sacred city. A Dao Nourishment Holy Emperor's domain pressed down, and Mo suddenly felt an endless terrifying force fall. His whole body trembled, and his legs kept swaying, as if he would fall to his knees at any time. Then, a spirit essence handprint with a bloody aura descended from the sky, almost covering the entire street. The surrounding cultivators retreated again. No one dared to stand up and speak. After Ning Cheng sent out the message, he saw the blood-colored handprint falling down. He snorted and took a step forward. The domain that was suppressing him and Mo cracked like an eggshell. Then Ning Cheng punched out. This punch directly blasted the space between him and Gong Qi into nothingness, and the fist shadow landed on Gong Qi's chest in an instant. When Gong Qi grabbed the handprint, he felt as if he was standing at the top of a waterfall, and everything under his feet was washed away by the waterfall. In merely an instant, the 30,000-foot waterfall suddenly rolled back, and a boundless aura mixed with violent divine essence energy smashed onto his chest instead. Gong Qi only heard the sound of his bones shattering inch by inch. Then, he spat out a mouthful of blood and flew out. He directly hit the restriction at the entrance of a shop, creating a gap in the defensive restriction. With a plop, Gong Qi fell to the ground, and his whole body twitched on the ground. Ning Cheng's punch contained the great Dao laws. Even if Gong Qi was a Dao Nourishment Holy Emperor, he wouldn't be able to recover in a short time. Chapter 1037. Since Gong Qi had been crippled by Ning Cheng's punch, he estimated that he would need at least a few months to recover. Xiu Qian, who had called Gong Qi over to help, was even more dumbfounded. She guessed that Ning Cheng's cultivation level was not low and was most likely at the late-stage Dao birth. However, even if Ning Cheng was at the late stage Dao birth, big brother Gong Qi would not be weaker than him. However, she had never expected that Ning Cheng would cripple Gong Qi with just one punch. Could a late-stage Dao birth cultivator do this? Gong Qi trembled as he took out a pill and swallowed it, while staring at Ning Cheng in shock. The woman from the Silver Dragon clan, who had been watching the fight from the side, on seeing Ning Cheng seriously injure Gong Qi with a single punch, immediately threw out an optical message in panic. Ning Cheng also felt relieved when he saw the other Silver Dragon clan woman, who came with Gong Qi, throw out a message. He had shown mercy to Gong Qi, otherwise, he could have killed Gong Qi with a single punch. He had purposely dealt a heavy blow so that Gong Qi could call for reinforcements. If the Silver Dragon tribe really came and Ba Meng didn't, he could go with the Silver Dragon tribe to solve the problem. He knew Gong Huayu in the Silver Dragon race. As long as he showed his identity and called out to Gong Huayu, he would most likely be treated as an honored guest. No matter how ruthless Deacon Gorge was, he wouldn't dare to cause trouble at the Silver Dragon clan. This way, he could help Mo and avoid the Deacon of the Gorge. Why not? However, things might not necessarily go in the direction Ning Cheng expected. Although Ning Cheng's gaze fell on Xiuqian, Gong Qi, and the others, his attention remained on Deacon Gorge. After he had injured Gong Qi with a punch, he saw Deacon Gorge walking over quickly. He could even feel Deacon Gorge's sharp killing intent. Oh no, Deacon Xia was going to fight for justice just like him. As long as this fellow came over, he would definitely say that he was ruthless and help Gong Qi this way. Deacon Gorge could get rid of him and curry favor with Gong Qi. Ning Cheng secretly felt that he had miscalculated. At this moment, the woman with the veil over her face also walked over. She stared at Ning Cheng and spoke with a deep voice, "Is your cultivation really at the Dao sculpting realm?" Ning Cheng didn't bother to answer this woman's words. He pulled Mo and said, "Hurry up and come with me. Otherwise, we won't have a good time." Not only was Mo rescued by Ning Cheng, but she also implicated Ning Cheng, causing her to feel guilty in her heart. Now that Ning Cheng wanted to take him away, he naturally would not raise any objections. Seeing Ning Cheng pulling Mo away, Deacon Xia pushed through the crowd and rushed over. Ning Cheng did not hesitate to pull Mo into the nearest luxurious rest stop and directly spoke, "I want the best room." Ning Cheng turned to Mo and spoke. Mo was a martial cultivator without any backing. Once he left, Gong Qi and that bitch Zhu Xiuqian would definitely play with Mo to death. Yes. Mo did not say anything else to not implicate Ning Cheng. He did not talk much, but he was not a fool. If he wanted to implicate Ning Cheng, he would have done so long ago. It would be nonsense to say that he would not implicate Ning Cheng now. Ning Cheng walked to the counter and took back the 9,000 divine crystals he had given to the shop assistant. Then, he walked out of the inn with Mo and Yin Yueshu. Upon seeing Ning Cheng leave, the shop assistant heaved a sigh of relief. Stop. Yin Yueshu and Ning Cheng had just walked out of the inn when they were stopped by a man in a yellow robe. Yin Yueshu's eyes turned cold. What's the matter? She could see that the man in the yellow robe had a higher cultivation level than her. He was even a primordial Dao Sacred Emperor expert. So what if he was a primordial Dao Sacred Emperor? How could he dare make a move on her in the Sea Dragon Sacred City? This person went too far just now. He actually seriously injured Daoist Gong Qi from the Silver Dragon clan. I couldn't stand it and wanted to seek justice for Daoist Gong Qi, Deacon Xia said as he pointed at Ning Cheng. He also knew that this excuse had expired. Unfortunately, he could not find a more perfect excuse. Yin Yueshu snorted coldly. This matter started because of Zhu Xiuqian from the Sunken Fish Palace, so the Sunken Fish Palace intervened. Deacon Xia's face was gloomy. He had not expected that Yin Yueshu would come from the Sunken Fish Palace of the 10 major sects. If he had known earlier, he would have stopped Ning Cheng from seriously injuring Gong Qi. I received a favor from a senior from the Silver Dragon clan in my early years. Please forgive me, fairy from the Sunken Fish Palace. After I repay this favor, I will hand him over to you. Deacon Xia took a deep breath and said word by word. As soon as he finished speaking, he raised his hand to grab Ning Cheng. He knew that it would not do him any good to drag things out. The most practical thing was to take Ning Cheng away as soon as possible. Yin Yueshu had not expected that such a thing would happen as soon as she had promised Ning Cheng. If things had not been so coincidental, she would have thought that she had been used. Only Ning Cheng knew that Yin Yueshu had really been used by him. Boom! Yin Yueshu's mountain and river plate did not even transform before it was blasted away by the rainbow light that Deacon Xia had casually taken out. Yin Yueshu's entire body was also blasted away and she spat out a few blood arrows in the air. The powerful divine essence blasted off the veil on her face, revealing her delicate and beautiful face. No matter how arrogant she was, she could not even withstand half a move from Deacon Xia. Yin Yueshu, who was still in the air, sent out a message. This was not something that she could be proud of. Someone had dared to make a move on her in the Sea Dragon's sacred city. That person was definitely a great enemy of the Sunken Fish Palace. She, an early-stage Dao transformation cultivator, did not need to deal with such a person. Deacon Xia acted as if he had not seen the message and directly grabbed Ning Cheng. He wanted to take Ning Cheng away as quickly as possible. Once the people from the Silver Dragon clan and the Sunken Fish Palace came, he was afraid that he would not be able to leave. Chapter 1038. Ning Cheng knew about Deacon Gorge's attack and reacted immediately. However, he couldn't resist Deacon Gorge's terrifying spirit essence. With a crack, Ning Cheng's domain shield shattered instantly. Unlike Yin Yueshu, who had been blasted away, Ning Cheng was suppressed by a powerful domain and couldn't move at all. Mo, who was standing in the distance, saw Ning Cheng's bones cracking. Seeing that he was about to be caught by Deacon Gorge's huge handprint, he immediately rushed up and slammed down with his iron rod. An Eternal Realm warrior attacking a primordial Dao Divine Emperor's spirit essence suppression was more outrageous than hitting a rock with an egg. With a puff sound, Mo's internal organs and bones were crushed. He spat out pieces of his internal organs and flew out like a kite. He hit the defensive restriction of another shop and collapsed to the ground, unable to move. All this was because he had touched the edge of Deacon Gorge's spirit essence suppression hand. Deacon Gorge hadn't diverted any energy to deal with him. Otherwise, even 100 Mo would have turned into nothingness. Although Mo's attack didn't have any effect on Deacon Gorge, it had an effect on Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng was suppressed by Deacon Gorge's spirit essence hand. Under Deacon Gorge's law sacred ability, he didn't know how to resist. Apart from taking out the bead, he could only wait for death. Ning Cheng naturally didn't want to wait for death. He took out the bead without hesitation. The moment he was about to take out the bead, Mo's iron rod slammed down and sent Mo flying. At the same time, he received a message from Ba Meng. Ba Meng was on his way. However, Ba Meng was too far away, so Ning Cheng could only rely on himself. Deacon Gorge's spirit essence suppression was perfect, but under Mo's iron rod, Ning Cheng caught a trace of nomological Dao runes. It was like a huge cow being bitten by an ant, causing the cow's muscles to change slightly. Deacon Gorge was this huge bull. His nomological spirit technique had only left a few traces, but Ning Cheng had managed to catch it. Ning Cheng's time will sacred ability condensed in an instant. Dozens of time wheels bombarded these traces, and a gap appeared in front of Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng rushed out. Under Deacon Gorge's spirit essence suppression, the powerful force made Ning Cheng spit out a few mouthfuls of blood. However, this was more than enough for Ning Cheng to escape from the suppression of the Gorge's Deacon. As such, Ning Cheng naturally would not use the bead. "It's you." Yin Yueshu finally recognized Ning Cheng, as the disguise on Ning Cheng's face had been blasted away by Deacon Xia, just like her veil. Ning Cheng turned into a shadow and flashed past Inuashu. Inuashu could only hear Ning Cheng's voice transmission before he left. "Help me take care of my friend. I owe you a favor." By the time Inuashu reacted, Ning Cheng had disappeared from the street. Ning Cheng crazily rushed out of the Sea Dragon Sacred City. Staying in the Sea Dragon Sacred City would only lead to his death. The direction he wanted to go was the direction where Ba Meng came from. Xia Ji was extremely shocked that Ning Cheng broke free from his god art. Ning Cheng was many times stronger than ordinary Dao molding divine emperors. Now that Ning Cheng rushed out of the Sea Dragon Sacred City, he felt slightly relieved. As long as Ning Cheng rushed out of the Sea Dragon Sacred City, he could catch Ning Cheng again. Sea Dragon Sacred City was different from the secret bazaar. It was not hidden in the sea. Instead, it was suspended on the surface of the Grand Essence Sea. From afar, it looked like a huge mountain. After Ning Cheng rushed out of the Sea Dragon Sacred City, he went directly above the Grand Essence Sea. Xia Ji was too close behind him, so he could only desperately use the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. He had no time to bring out the starry sky wheel. The twin wings of the heavenly clouds couldn't maintain its speed for a long time, and it wouldn't take long for Deacon Xia to catch up. Ning Cheng sighed helplessly. It seemed that Mo's desperate stick couldn't get him to keep the spiritual consciousness energy bead. He didn't know how long it would take for Ba Meng to get here. "Don't worry, I'm here." Ning Cheng was still thinking about when Ba Meng would come over when a voice transmission fell into Ning Cheng's ears. Ba Meng didn't have a spaceship under his feet. His entire body came over through the void, and his Dao runes circulated without any restraint. Ning Cheng was overjoyed. Ba Meng had finally advanced to the primordial Dao realm. However, his Dao runes were overflowing. Apparently, he hadn't completely stabilized in the primordial Dao realm. Ning Cheng didn't need to call out to him at all. As soon as Ba Meng arrived, his sun-moon pagoda transformed into 2 rays of light. The 2 rays of light instantly covered the entire space and shot towards Deacon Xia. Deacon Xia was in a hurry to chase after Ning Cheng and was about to take control of Ning Cheng. As long as he could take control of Ning Cheng, he would immediately escape. But he didn't expect that someone would suddenly attack him at this time. Not only did Ning Cheng not feel Ba Meng's sudden arrival, but Deacon Xia also only felt it when Ba Meng attacked. Even if Ba Meng's Dao Rune Foundation wasn't stable, he was still a Dao-confirming Holy Emperor who had stepped into the second step. What's more, Ba Meng had always been a bloodthirsty killer in the Grand Essence Sea. His strength wasn't any weaker than Deacon Xia's. With the Sun-Moon Pagoda suppressing him, how could Deacon Xia dare to continue chasing after Ning Cheng? The weapon in his hand rolled out and transformed into several rays of light that blocked Ba Meng's Sun-Moon Pagoda. Ning Cheng didn't try to escape. Only at this time did he see that Deacon Xia's weapon was a 6 harmonies flower bead. Boom! The 2 attacks collided, creating a vacuum in the surrounding sea. It even blasted open a huge ravine on the seabed. The entire space trembled under the impact of the 2 attacks. Ning Cheng swallowed the explosive spirit pill without hesitation and directly brought out the 5-colored star splitter arrow. When Deacon Xia saw Ning Cheng's 5-colored star splitter arrow, he suddenly felt his scalp tingle. If it was a one-on-one fight, he wouldn't fear Ning Cheng's 5-colored star splitter arrow. But now, there was a Dao Essence powerhouse who had the same cultivation as him helping Ning Cheng. Coupled with Ning Cheng's 5-colored star splitter arrow, there was no other way for him to go but to fall. No matter how good the things on Ning Cheng were, they weren't as good as his life. Deacon Xia grabbed a talisman and was about to bring it out. If he faced Ning Cheng alone, even if Ning Cheng's 5-colored star splitter arrow locked onto him, he could still bring out the talisman and escape with Ning Cheng's current cultivation. Even if he didn't escape, he could still block the arrow. Unfortunately, there was also Ba Meng. Ba Meng was only surprised that Ning Cheng could bring out the five-colored star splitter arrow, but he quickly got used to it. Ning Cheng already had the Seven Bridges spirit technique, so what if he had another five-colored star splitter arrow? The moment Deacon Xia brought out the talisman, Ba Meng's Sun and Moon Pagoda's Sun and Moon radiance erupted. The Tao charm of the Sun and Moon will blasted down, directly suppressing the rainbow light transformed from Deacon Xia's 6 harmonies pearls. Even the surrounding space was locked down by the Sun and Moon Pagoda at this moment. Deacon Xia's expression changed drastically when he saw that he couldn't activate the escape talisman in a short time. He knew that he had made an unforgivable mistake. The longer the five-colored star splitter arrow dragged on, the less likely it was for him to escape. He shouldn't have brought out the escape talisman immediately. He should have first escaped the range of the five-colored star splitter arrow's killing intent, and then brought out the escape talisman. The gray killing intent instantly gathered, and the majestic and violent five-colored star splitter arrow's killing intent turned countless times more violent than before. The arrow intent exuding a deathly aura seemed to contain a sense of unhappiness. Unhappiness that Deacon Xia had once escaped. Unhappiness that under its killing intent, someone still had to use an escape talisman to escape. As the arrow faded, the five colors spread, the killing intent gathered, and death spread. Stop, I apologize to you. You can't touch me. I'm a deacon of the Sea Sky Pavilion. I'll give you all the shares of the Sea Sky Pavilion. After understanding that the five-colored star splitter arrow had completely locked onto him, Deacon Xia went completely crazy. For the first time, he felt panic and unease. For the first time, he felt so afraid. He longed to do it all over again. If he could do it all over again, he would never have chased after Ning Cheng alone. Even if he wanted to deal with Ning Cheng, he would have to bring a few helpers. Ning Cheng's killing intent was as firm as the five-colored star splitter arrow. Even if Deacon Xia screamed, it couldn't stop his determination to kill Deacon Xia. Whoosh! The black arrow, which had completely disappeared, almost tore the entire void into fragments. It rolled up endless void killing intent and blasted out. At this moment, the arrow disappeared, and the five-colored longbow also faded into the void. The entire space was filled with boundless killing intent, and only a gray that represented death. No bow, no arrow, no stars, no splitter. Even if Deacon Xia was a Tao Essence powerhouse, he couldn't compare to a one-star powerhouse. The gray killing intent caused his glabella to explode, and only Deacon Xia's unwilling eyes remained open. However, his eyes lost their luster and were replaced by despair and regret. Ning Cheng raised his hand and grabbed Deacon Xia's ring, the 6 harmonies flower bead, feeling completely relieved. Deacon Xia was like a nail nailed to his back, making him feel uncomfortable. Now that he killed Deacon Xia, he felt much more relaxed. The surroundings returned to normal, as if nothing had happened here. Ba Meng, however, knew that Ning Cheng had just killed a Tao Essence powerhouse. No one would believe that a Tao molding holy emperor could kill a Tao Essence powerhouse. In fact, he had seen Ning Cheng kill a Tao Essence powerhouse with his own eyes. Maybe if he hadn't restrained this Tao Essence powerhouse, Ning Cheng wouldn't have been able to kill him. But in other words, even if he was in a stalemate with a Tao Essence powerhouse, a Tao actualization holy emperor might not be able to kill this Tao Essence powerhouse. Brother Ning Cheng, I haven't seen you for a few years, and your strength has improved a lot. In a few more years, I'm afraid I won't even be able to see your shadow. Ba Meng put away his magic weapon and stepped through the void. Ning Cheng laughed, Brother Ba, congratulations on reaching the Tao Essence realm. Congratulations to Ba Luo for returning to your side. Ba Meng also laughed, fortunately, I have a talisman in my hand, and I'm not far from you. I rushed over as soon as I received your message. Otherwise, you would have been in trouble. He understood what Ning Cheng meant. Since he had reached Tao Essence, it meant that Ba Luo had definitely woken up. Otherwise, his Tao heart wasn't perfect, and he wouldn't have reached Tao essence so quickly. I wouldn't have been in trouble, but I can't vent the anger in my heart. So, I really have to thank you for saving me this time. Ning Qing smiled. Ba Meng waved his hand. We're brothers, why do we need to thank you? I don't know how long I'll have to thank you. Why didn't you come out of the dark nether realm? It's a long story. Let's go to the Sea Dragon Sacred City. I have a friend in the Sea Dragon Sacred City. He was injured, and I want to see him, Ning Qing replied. Chapter 1039. As soon as the two entered Sea Dragon Sacred City, Ning Qing saw three people walking over quickly. It seemed like they were going to leave the city. One of them was a tall, silver-haired woman who had come with Gong Qi. Following this silver-haired woman was a Tao Essence Divine Emperor and a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. Ning Qing didn't see Yin Yueshu and Zhu Xiuqian from Sunken Fish Palace. It's him. He injured Big Brother Gong. The tall silver-haired woman pointed at Ning Qing. When Deacon Xia attacked, this silver-haired woman had been staring at Ning Qing. She had also seen Ning Qing's mask being blown off. At first glance, Ning Qing was able to recognize him. Ning Qing didn't change his appearance. Since Deacon Xia had been killed, no one would suddenly attack him. Now that he was with Ba Meng, as a Tao Essence Pill Saint, he didn't need to change his appearance. You injured my Silver Dragon Clan's Gong Qi. That Tao Essence Divine Emperor stared at Ning Qing and asked coldly. He had wanted to attack Ning Qing when he saw him. However, he found that things seemed to be out of his expectations. Ning Qing had a Tao Essence Divine Emperor like Ba Meng. Although he could see that Ba Meng's Tao Essence Tao runes hadn't stabilized, he was indeed a second-step Tao Vindication Divine Emperor. That's right, I did it, Ning Qing said straightforwardly. He didn't kill Gong Qi as long as he brought out Gong Huayu. He believed that this matter could be easily resolved. You're Border Ocean Red Hair Ba Meng. You're a Tao Essence Divine Emperor. That Tao Actualization Divine Emperor finally recognized Ba Meng and said in shock. There was a hint of envy in his tone. A Tao Actualization Divine Emperor who was once a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor like him suddenly stood at another height. Ba Meng said in a deep voice, that's right, I'm Red Hair Ba Meng. Ning Qing is my friend. His business is my business. Ba Meng didn't know that Ning Qing and Silver Dragon Clan's Gong Huayu were friends. Now that he stopped Ning Qing and said that Ning Qing had injured Gong Qi, it was clearly a Silver Dragon Clan expert. It seemed that Ning Qing had gotten into big trouble this time. However, he didn't care. Without Ning Qing, Ba Meng and his son would have been long gone. Now that Ning Qing needed his help, he, Ba Meng, was naturally duty-bound. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor from the Silver Dragon Clan glanced at Ba Meng and said calmly to Ning Qing, no matter who you are, you have to give an explanation for hurting my Silver Dragon Clan's disciple. So, you are no exception. Obviously, Ba Meng's words didn't make this Tao Essence Divine Emperor let Ning Qing go. Ning Qing showed a calm smile. Naturally, I will give your Silver Dragon Clan an explanation. Now I'm going to see my friend. When my friend is fine, I'll give you an explanation. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor glanced at Ba Meng again and finally nodded. As long as Ning Qing did not try to escape, then it would be fine. When Ning Qing returned to the original place, Mo had already stood up. Other than looking a bit dispirited, his injuries did not seem to be serious. It's you. Mo looked at Ning Qing in confusion. Do you know me? Ning Qing asked. Mo nodded. When I went to buy jade slips in the Boundary Essence Spirit Sea City, you followed behind me. I didn't expect to meet you in the Sea Dragon Sacred City. There was one more thing he didn't say. Back then, Ning Qing was at most similar to him. But now, he was far worse than Ning Qing. At this moment, Mo also understood why Ning Qing was willing to help him despite not knowing him. There was a kind of friendship called mutual appreciation. Ning Cheng appreciated him, and he also appreciated Ning Cheng's temperament. Ning Cheng sighed inwardly. Mo's memory was too powerful. Back then, he had just followed behind Mo. The two of them hadn't even spoken half a word, yet Mo could remember it so clearly. Yin Yueshu and Sun Rushuan stood next to Mo. Zhu Xiuqian lowered her head and stood at the back. She had clearly been scolded. Greetings, Pill Sage Ning. When Sun Rushuan saw Ning Cheng come over, she immediately walked over with a smile and greeted him with a cultivator's greeting. Yueshu greets Pill Sage Ning. Yin Yueshu also hurriedly came over to greet him. The arrogance on her face had long disappeared, replaced by gentleness and gentleness. Ning Cheng hurriedly returned the greeting and said, "Thank you, Senior Sister Tsun, for helping my friend." "Thank you, Junior Sister Yin." Ning Cheng had appeared as a primordial Dao alchemy saint, so it was not against the rules for him to call Sun Rushuan Senior Sister. As for Yin Yueshu, calling her Junior Sister meant that he thought highly of her. Sun Rushuan didn't point out that it was inappropriate for Ning Cheng to call her Senior Sister and then Junior Sister Yin Yueshu. Instead, she giggled and said, "I wonder if Alchemy Saint Ning is free. If you are, the Sunken Fish Palace welcomes you." Ning Cheng smiled slightly and didn't agree or refuse. He only said, "Let's find a rest stop and sit down to talk slowly." Ba Meng, who had originally thought that there would be a fierce battle, hadn't expected Sun Rushuan to be so respectful to Ning Cheng. Besides, Sun Rushuan seemed to think that it was normal for Ning Cheng to call her senior sister. Ba Meng naturally knew who Sun Rushuan was. She was a primordial Dao expert of the Sunken Fish Palace. Ba Meng knew that Ning Cheng was an alchemy master, but how could Ning Cheng be an alchemy saint? Not only was Ba Meng puzzled, but the few people from the Silver Dragon clan also looked at Ning Cheng and Sun Rushuan in confusion. The primordial Dao sacred emperor from the Silver Dragon clan frowned and didn't say anything. Sun Rushuan and Ning Cheng had a close relationship. If Gong Qi was beaten up, it would be hard to get justice. Wait, Alchemy Saint Ning. The primordial Dao sacred emperor instantly came to a realization. Wasn't this Ning Cheng, who had helped the young palatial master refine the 6-yin soul pill? Alchemy Saint Ning, who had been in the limelight at the alchemy discussion conference and represented the great essence realm in the 5 realms pill competition. After understanding this, the primordial Dao sacred emperor from the Silver Dragon clan broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, he hadn't directly attacked Ning Cheng. If he had, he would have been finished. After understanding Ning Cheng's identity, the primordial Dao sacred emperor hurriedly stepped forward and said with cupped fists, "I'm Gong Shimao from the Silver Dragon clan. Greetings, Alchemy Saint Ning." Everyone in the Silver Dragon clan knew that Ning Cheng had helped the Silver Dragon clan's young palatial master Gong Huayu refine a cauldron of 6-yin soul pill. After Gong Shimao greeted them, the other Dao actualization divine emperor and the silver-haired woman also cupped their fists and greeted Ning Cheng. Gong Qi's status in the Silver Dragon clan was very high, but it couldn't be higher than the young palatial master Gong Huayu. Unless they were stupid, no one from the Silver Dragon clan would become enemies with Ning Cheng, whom Gong Huayu regarded as his most valuable friend. As Ning Cheng's friend, Ba Meng was also full of doubts, but he didn't ask. Seeing Ning Cheng's group enter a nearby inn, Gong Qi's face turned livid with anger. He was also a direct descendant of the Silver Dragon clan. Now, he finally saw clearly that he was worse than a dog compared to Gong Huayu. His father, Gong Jiufei, was Gong Huayu's uncle. If Gong Huayu hadn't stopped him, the Silver Dragon clan's young palatial master would definitely be his. After the group entered the inn's private room, Gong Shimao immediately apologized to Ning Cheng. Then, Zhu Xiuqian, Yin Yueshu, and the others also stood up to apologize to Ning Cheng. After everyone was polite, Sun Rushuan said, "I heard from Yueshu that someone is against alchemy sage Ning. I wonder if the Sunken Fish Palace can help." And the Silver Dragon Clan. Alchemy Sage Ning is an important guest of the Silver Dragon Clan. How dare someone be so ignorant as to make things difficult for Alchemy Sage Ning? Gong Shimao didn't show any weakness and immediately stood up to express his friendship. Ning Cheng smiled slightly. That person later realized that he was in the wrong, so I persuaded him to leave. Qin Rushuan glanced at Ba Meng, who was sitting next to Ning Cheng, and thought to herself, kill him. If Alchemy Sage Ning could suffer a loss, then he wouldn't be the Ning Cheng I know. Daoist Ning, you must be going to participate in the Five Realms Pill competition, right? Gong Shimao also wanted to build a relationship with Ning Cheng and took the initiative to ask. Ning Cheng nodded and said, yes. Because I've been too far away recently, I rushed back in a hurry and used the teleportation array of the Sea Dragon Sacred City. At that time, I would have to use the teleportation array of the Silver Dragon Clan and the Sunken Fish Palace. This time, without waiting for Qin Rushuan to speak, Gong Shimao quickly spoke up. Naturally, there's no problem. Alchemy Sage Ning can use my Silver Dragon Clan's teleportation array at any time. Young Palace Master hasn't come out of seclusion yet. If Alchemy Sage Ning wants to, you can come to my Silver Dragon Clan's seat of honor. Ning Cheng saw that Qin Rushuan seemed to want to speak, so he simply said, my friend, Association Master Cheng, got poisoned. I'm in a hurry to return to Heaven Essence Sacred City, so I can't. Ning Cheng's words stopped abruptly before he could finish them. He suddenly thought of why Cheng Ho Tian got poisoned. It was definitely to lure him out. Now that he exposed himself in the Sea Dragon Sacred City, once the person who lured him out learned about it, would he be able to reach Heaven Essence Sacred City safely? Thinking of this, Ning Cheng sighed in his heart. He had just killed the Gorge Deacon who chased him for hundreds of millions of miles, but he still found that he wasn't safe. If his identity hadn't been exposed, he might have been able to reach Heaven Essence Sacred City safely. But now it seemed that he wouldn't be able to reach Heaven Essence Sacred City safely. Qin Rushuan and Gongxi Mao were both old foxes. So when Ning Cheng suddenly stopped, the two immediately understood what was going on. When Ning Cheng mentioned Cheng Hotian's name, he suddenly stopped. Apparently, he thought of something. Cheng Hotian got poisoned by the Mark Bone poison, which meant that Ning Cheng could refine the heaven-extending Mark Bone pill. With such a coincidence, if Ning Cheng said that it had nothing to do with Ning Cheng, they wouldn't believe it. Dao friend Ning, my Sunken Fish Palace's Palace Master Wan is going to Heaven Essence Sacred City. I will also accompany the Palace Master. If Dao friend Ning is willing, we can travel together. Qin Rushuan immediately made a decision after grasping the problem. Gongxi Mao also understood the problem. Although he felt anxious, he couldn't do anything about it. Silver Dragon Clan's only primordial chaos Holy Emperor was still in seclusion, and he was only at the middle stage Dao Essence realm. Ning Cheng also had an early stage Dao Essence realm cultivator by his side. He didn't know if Ning Cheng would look at him or not. Regardless of whether Ning Cheng looked at him or not, Gongxi Mao had no choice but to cup his fists and say, I also plan to go to Heaven Essence Sacred City. Moreover, my Silver Dragon Clan is prepared to fully support Pill Sage Ning's participation in the Five Realms Pill competition. I wonder if I can accompany Dao friend Ning. Ning Cheng understood the meaning of these two. Of course, he wouldn't refuse. He stood up and cupped his fists. Heaven Essence Sacred City is a long way away. With more people, it would be much safer. After I reach Heaven Essence Sacred City, I'll still have some time. I wonder if there's anything I can help Senior Apprentice Sister Qin and Brother Gong. Qin Rushuan and Gongxi Mao felt overjoyed. The reason why they said so much was because they were waiting for Ning Cheng to say this. Chapter 1040. Ning Cheng was a primordial Dao alchemy saint, so he naturally wanted to ask Ning Cheng for alchemy. However, Qin Rushuan and Gong Shimao only asked Ning Cheng to refine a few batches of medicinal pills for them. They didn't say anything about the medicinal pills. Obviously, the two of them did not want to let the other know the name of the pill that they wanted Ning Cheng to refine. Ning Cheng also understood the truth behind this, as the few of them interjected into the topic, and the conversation was quite congenial. Because Ning Cheng didn't want to stay in the Sea Dragon's sacred city for too long, after everyone chatted for a while, Ning Cheng proposed to head to the Heaven Essence sacred city immediately. Since Ning Cheng wanted to leave, Qin Rushuan and Gong Shimao naturally had no objections. "Mo, my name is Ning Cheng and I am also a pill master. Do you want to come with me to the Heaven Essence sacred city now, or do you want to stay in the Sea Dragon's sacred city?" Ning Cheng looked at martial cultivator Mo beside him. Mo bowed to Ning Cheng and said, "After leaving the Sea Dragon's sacred city, I plan to head to the Grand Essence Sea to gain experience." Hearing that Mo didn't want to go to Heaven Essence sacred city, Ning Cheng didn't care about it. He just stood up and said goodbye to Mo. Mo was a martial cultivator, and martial cultivators lived the life of an ascetic monk. Thousand Leaves Sacred City was located in the northernmost part of the Grand Essence domain, on the southern shore of the Grand Essence Sea. This was also the place with the most teleportation arrays. Whether it was from the Grand Essence Sea to the Grand Essence domain or from other places to the Grand Essence domain, one had to pass through Thousand Leaves Sacred City. If Ning Cheng had teleported from the Divine Sea City before, he would have had to pass through the Thousand Leaves Sacred City. Apart from him, Ba Meng, Gong Shimao, and Qin Rushuan, there was also Palace Master Luan. Palatial Lord Luan was the only primordial chaos expert among the five. Palatial Lord Luan's appearance was not inferior to Yin Yueshu's. She was also a stunning woman. However, a pair of evil almond-shaped eyes ruined her beautiful appearance, making her look somewhat cold. In fact, from the moment Ning Cheng saw Palace Master Luan in the Sunken Fish Palace, he had not heard her speak much. Rather than saying that they were traveling together, it would be better to say that they were here to help Ning Cheng with his alchemy, as well as fulfilling their bodyguard duties. After arriving at the Thousand Leaves Sacred City, Ning Cheng became even more careful. He knew that if the person who lured him out wanted to make a move, it would definitely be in Thousand Leaves Holy City. Other than the Thousand Leaves Holy City, there was no better place to strike. Although Thousand Leaf Sacred City and Heaven Essence Sacred City were both located in the Grand Essence domain, they were still too far away from each other. Even the teleportation array between Thousand Leaves Sacred City and Heaven Essence Sacred City could only be used once a day. When Ning Cheng's group of 5 arrived at the Thousand Leaf Sacred City, the teleportation array to the Heaven Essence Sacred City had already been used once. If they wanted to use it again, they would have to wait until the next day. This night was the key. Ning Cheng understood this truth, and so did Qin Rushuan and the others. So that night, the 5 of them directly discussed Dao techniques in the inn. The night quickly passed by, but no one came to attack Ning Cheng. He did not know if it was because he did not receive the news of Ning Cheng's return, or because he knew that the bodyguards around Ning Cheng were too strong. In just one night of Dao discussion, Ning Cheng had gained a lot of benefits. Among the 5 people here, his cultivation was the lowest. Be it Qin Rushuan or Gong Shimao, their experience and cultivation insights were not something he could compare to. Unfortunately, Palace Master Luan never spoke. As such, Ning Cheng could not obtain even the slightest benefit from her. The next day, the 5 people passed through the Thousand Leaves Sacred City's transmission array and arrived at the Heaven Essence Sacred City. Heaven Essence Sacred City had many powerhouses. Even Primordial Essence Holy Emperors would not dare to attack Ning Cheng here. Because as soon as they attacked, they would immediately attract a powerful counterattack. Not only that, but it would also immediately expose their identities. Therefore, after Ning Cheng arrived at the Heaven Essence Sacred City, he was theoretically safe. After coming out of the Heaven Essence Sacred City's transmission array, Qin Rushuan and the others immediately bid farewell to Ning Cheng and said that they would visit Ning Cheng in a few days. Ning Cheng also understood what they meant. Since he came here, Ning Cheng naturally had to go to the Pill Association to heal Qing Ho Tian. And when they came to see Ning Cheng in a few days, it would be the time for Ning Cheng to fulfill his promise. Ning Cheng took Ba Meng and said goodbye to the others. At the same time, he felt even more thirst for strength. With a strong alchemy ability, one could indeed find a powerful bodyguard. But that wouldn't be their own strength. A bodyguard wouldn't stay with them forever. Even if they did, it would be for the sake of benefits. Brother Ning Cheng, I didn't expect you to be a pill sage. What kind of pill sage are you? After the others left, Ba Meng asked Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng smiled, I was originally a Dao transformation pill sage, but I'll soon become a primordial Dao pill sage. The reason why Ning Cheng said this was because Ning Cheng felt sure that the Sunken Fish Palace and the Silver Dragon clan wouldn't ask him to refine Dao transformation pills. Even if they did, there wouldn't be too many Dao transformation pills. Since these two sects were so friendly with him, they definitely wanted him to refine primordial Dao pills. Ning Cheng believed that even if these two sects wanted him to refine primordial Dao pills, it wouldn't be a difficult pill like the 6-yin soul pill. Although he had refined the 6-yin soul pill before, Ning Cheng knew the process very well. Although he was infinitely close to becoming a primordial Dao pill sage, he still wasn't a primordial Dao pill sage. According to common reasoning, these two sects wanted him to refine strategic medicinal pills to improve the strength of their sections. It was most likely a Dao pill that could help one comprehend the primordial Dao realm. With the heritage of big sects like the Sunken Fish Palace and the Silver Dragon clan, after countless years of accumulation, the materials for primordial Dao pills naturally wouldn't be lacking. As long as he quoted an ordinary price, such as splitting it in half. In other words, to refine a batch of medicinal pills, he would need 2 batches of divine grasses. In this way, he would have enough divine grasses to practice. Ning Cheng had said that he would soon become a primordial Dao pill sage. Unless Qin Rushuan and Gongxi Mao had a problem with their brains, they just wanted him to refine a batch of primordial Dao pills that were extremely difficult to refine. If that was the case, he could only admit defeat. Ba Meng also smiled and didn't ask again. He had seen too many impossibilities from Ning Cheng, but he still couldn't figure out how Ning Cheng came out of the dark nether realm. Moreover, Ning Cheng had the 7 bridges spirit technique, the 5-colored star splitter arrow, the 6-yin soul pill. Brother Ba, you go find a rest stop. I'll go to the Pill Association to see Union Master Cheng. Ning Cheng was worried about Qing Ho Tian's injuries. After all, he had been poisoned for several years. Ning Cheng naturally felt anxious. Ning Cheng didn't think that Qing Ho Tian would die. Ancestor Kong of the Void Star sect had been poisoned for countless years. But didn't he recover with the help of the Sky Extending Mark Bone Pill? Ba Meng shook his head, although this is the Heaven Essence Sacred City, I'll go with you. Ning Cheng understood Ba Meng's meaning and felt grateful in his heart. Friends and trading partners were different. He had made a deal with Qin Rushuan and the others, and the deal was to ensure that he could reach the Heaven Essence Sacred City. Now that he arrived at the Heaven Essence Sacred City, Qin Rushuan and the others had nothing to do with him. Ba Meng was his friend, and no matter what, Ba Meng would also worry about his safety. Okay, let's go together. Qing Ho Tian wasn't the same as the other Pill Association elders. His cave was in the Pill Association. Pill Sage Ning. As soon as Ning Cheng arrived at the Pill Association, a surprised voice called out. Then, a beautiful figure rushed over and bowed to Ning Cheng. It's you. Congratulations on your promotion. Ning Cheng also recognized this female cultivator. When he came here to take the Pill Association's qualification card, this female cultivator had led the way. Looking at this female cultivator's robes, Ning Qing understood that she was also the person in charge of this place. The female cultivator quickly spoke up, "He Jia only managed to get to where she is today because of Pill Sage Ning. Pill Sage is back, what can I do for you? Take me to see Association Master Cheng." Ning Qing nodded. Hearing that Ning Qing wanted to see Cheng Ho Tian, He Jia didn't feel surprised. However, a trace of reluctance appeared on her face. Ning Qing frowned slightly, "What's wrong?" "No, Pill Sage Ning, please come with me." He Jia had absolute respect for Ning Qing. Since he had the ability, he shouldn't be arrogant. After passing through the Pill Sage Hall and entering the backyard, He Jia stopped at the entrance of a cave after walking for a few minutes. She bowed to Ning Qing and said, "Pill Sage Ning, this is Association Master Cheng's cave." Ning Qing nodded and touched the restrictions at the entrance of the cave. When the restrictions opened, Ning Qing didn't see Cheng Ho Tian. Instead, he saw a middle-stage Tao Essence Holy Emperor. Ning Qing had seen this fellow before. He had sat next to Cheng Ho Tian during the pill discussion conference. Ning Qing felt a little puzzled. This fellow didn't seem friendly to him, so why was he in Cheng Ho Tian's cave? At the pill discussion conference, after Lu Shizhen finished refining the Essence Meridian Crossing pill, this person had been pressuring him about why he didn't refine the pill. Ning Qing only knew that this person was a high-ranking member of the Pill Union. As for his name and position, he didn't know. When this Tao Essence Holy Emperor saw Ning Qing appear, he had an indifferent expression. "Pill Sage Ning, Association Master Cheng was poisoned. You really came in time." This was a sarcastic remark. Cheng Ho Tian had been poisoned for 2 years, yet Ning Qing had only just arrived. Ning Qing didn't care about this fellow's sarcasm. He just said to He Jia, "You can leave first." "Many thanks." He Jia could sense the unfriendly atmosphere and quickly bowed and left. Ning Qing suddenly had a feeling that Ba Meng had made the right decision to come with him. Wait. This Tao Essence Holy Emperor stopped Ba Meng, who was about to enter with Ning Qing, and said with an indifferent tone, "This is the Pill Union. Ning Qing, you can go in. Those who came with you can only wait outside." Ning Qing stared coldly at this Tao Essence Holy Emperor in front of him. "I'll count to 3. If you don't scram, don't blame me for making a move." "You dare." This Tao Essence Holy Emperor had just said 2 words when Ning Qing brought out his long spear. Ba Meng didn't wait for Ning Qing to speak. When Ning Qing made his move, he also brought out his Sun-Moon Pagoda, and a powerful aura enveloped the area. A Tao Essence Holy Emperor emitted killing intent in the Pill Union. This killing intent was instantly sensed by many experts. This mid-stage Tao Essence Holy Emperor's face turned livid. He didn't expect Ning Qing to be so daring to use a magic treasure in the Pill Union. He wasn't afraid of Ning Qing and Ba Meng, but because even if Ning Qing made a move, he wouldn't be able to touch Ning Qing. It was because of his identity as a Tao Essence Pill Sage. A Tao Essence Pill Sage's status in the Pill Union wasn't any lower than his. 3. Do it. Ning Qing only counted to 3 before stabbing out with his long spear. Ba Meng's Sun-Moon Pagoda's aura instantly pressed down on this mid-stage Tao Essence Holy Emperor. Even though Ba Meng deliberately didn't let his aura leak out, the surrounding array formation restrictions made cracking sounds. It seemed like it would crack in the next moment. "Ning Qing, hurry up and stop." Si Chen Chiu Tian's voice came in time. Chapter 1041. Ning Qing wanted to lure Chiu Tian over. Since Chiu Tian came in time and spoke, Ning Qing naturally wouldn't continue. Seeing Ning Qing stop, Ba Meng put away the Sun-Moon Pagoda in time. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor who stopped Ning Qing could only put away his magic treasure. Ning Qing greets Association Master. Ning Qing quickly stepped forward and greeted him. Qiu Tian was not only an expert in the pill Dao, but he was also the strongest in the pill association. At least Ning Qing couldn't see through Qiu Tian's cultivation. Moreover, Qiu Tian was an upright person, so Ning Qing had always respected him. Pill Sage Ning must have had a hard time coming back. Why did you fight with Elder Dao Peng? Qiu Tian asked when he saw Ning Qing stop. He said that Ning Qing had a hard time coming back because he knew why Qing Ho Tian was poisoned. The person who poisoned Qing Ho Tian mainly wanted to lure Ning Qing back, which meant that Ning Qing wouldn't have had a safe journey. The middle stage Dao Essence Divine Emperor called Dao Peng was Kai Dao Peng, the first elder of the Pill Association. His status in the Pill Association was second only to Qiu Tian and Qing Ho Tian. When he saw Qiu Tian talking to Ning Qing in a friendly manner, he felt very uncomfortable. If someone else dared to fight in the Pill Association, Qiu Tian wouldn't have said a word and would have killed them. Facing Ning Qing, not only did the association master ask for the reason, but he also spoke in such a friendly manner. Ning Qing once again cupped his fists and spoke, replying to the association head, "I brought my friend back to help heal elder brother Ho Tian, but this elder Kai Daopeng forcibly stopped me and did not allow my friend to go in to help heal association head Cheng. You." Kai Daopeng was furious, but he could only say to Qiu Tian, replying to association master, when Pill Sage Ning came back, he didn't say that he brought people to help cure association master Cheng. Qiu Tian chuckled, "Since it's a misunderstanding and we're all members of the Pill Association, let's forget it. Let's go in and see Association Master Ho Tian. I've been trying to detoxify the bone-extending poison, but I haven't found any other way except for the sky-extending bone-extending pill. I heard that Pill Sage Ning refined the sky-extending bone-extending pill for the Void Star sect before. Is that true?" Ning Qing replied, "It's true. Do you still have any cloud-replenishing bone vein pills?" Kai Daopeng asked eagerly. Ning Qing glanced at Kai Daopeng and spoke, "No." Kai Daopeng didn't ask any more questions, but he inadvertently heaved a sigh of relief. He did not know that Ning Qing was referring to the fact that he did not have it on his hand, but there was actually half a bottle in his ring. The restriction on Qing Hotian's room opened, but what Ning Qing did not expect was that there was another person in Qing Hotian's room. It was a woman that Ning Qing had never seen before. But what shocked Ning Qing even more was Qing Hotian's state. Qing Hotian looked even more terrifying than when Ning Qing first saw Qi Shizingsing. He looked almost like a skeleton, and a purplish-black skeleton at that. Not to mention the Dao primordial Dao runes, even the deathly aura surrounded him. Why is Association Master Ho Tian like this? Ning Qing asked in horror. That ancestor Kong could resist for so many years, but how long had it been since Qing Ho Tian? Si Qin Qiu Tian sighed and said, "The striped bone poison is too powerful. Ho Tian hasn't reached primordial chaos Dao validation, so he can't resist the power of the striped bone poison. In a few more days, I'm afraid." Si Qin Qiu Tian did not continue, but everyone understood the meaning of his words. Qing Ho Tian wouldn't be able to hold on for long. In just a few more days, he would most likely fall. Ning Qing did not ask again, nor did he take out the heaven-replenishing bone vein pill for Qing Ho Tian to take. Instead, he sighed and did not speak. After a while, his gaze fell on the woman in Qing Ho Tian's room. "Who are you? Why are you here?" Kai Daopeng immediately replied, "Association Master Cheng's poison is too severe. I brought her here to take care of Association Master Cheng." Ning Qing did not ask again and said to Si Qin Qiu Tian, "Association Master, I want to take away elder brother Ho Tian to cure the poison. Even if there is only 1 in a billion chance, I will try my best." Before Si Qin Qiu Tian could speak, Kai Daopeng's face sank and said, "Association Master Cheng is my Pill Union's second Association Master. His identity is extremely precious. How can you take him away just because you want to? If something happens, can you bear the responsibility?" Ning Cheng stared at Kai Daopeng and sneered, "Are you the Tao Primordial Pill Saint or am I the Tao Primordial Pill Saint? If I can't bear the responsibility, can you?" Association Master just said that Association Master Cheng won't be able to hold on for long. You and the people you invited have been taking care of Association Master Ho Tian. What about the truth? Hearing Ning Cheng compare alchemy to him, Kai Daopeng's face turned even uglier. However, he could not refute it because his alchemy level was not as good as Ning Cheng's. Association Master Kai Daopeng, who could not refute, could only look at Si Chen Chiu Tian. Si Chen Chiu Tian waved his hand and said to Ning Cheng, "Ning Cheng, take Ho Tian away. You and Ho Tian are friends, and you are also a Tao Primordial Pill Saint. I believe you. I have all the auxiliary herbs for refining the heaven-replenishing bone vein pill. Unfortunately, I only got the silk silver phoenix grass as the main material. If you need it, you can come to me at any time. No matter what the result is, I think as long as you try your best, Ho Tian will not blame you. After this matter, you have to focus on the 5 Realms Pill competition." "Yes, many thanks, Association Master. Once I get the rest of the Tao fruits, I will come to trouble Association Master," Ning Cheng said with gratitude. In any case, Si Chen Chiu Tian sincerely wanted to help Cheng Ho Tian. It's just that the materials for refining the heaven-replenishing bone vein pill were a bit difficult to obtain. Since the association head had agreed, Kai Daopeng could only watch Ning Cheng leave with Cheng Ho Tian with a black face. Ning Cheng had a Tao Essence powerhouse by his side. Even if he was at the middle stage Tao Essence realm, he would not dare to do anything to Ning Cheng. "Brother Ning Cheng, I think there's something wrong with that pill association elder." After leaving the pill association, Ba Meng spoke up. Ning Cheng sneered, "There must be something wrong with him. Not only him, but the woman who took care of elder brother Ho Tian also has some problems. Elder brother Ho Tian's room does not have a healing array, but a monitoring array. Does he think I don't understand the Tao of arrays? Brother Ning, you're back." Jian Sanshan saw Ning Cheng coming to his cave and immediately came out to greet him with joy. "Senior apprentice brother." Wu Qihong's surprised voice came out, and a moment later, Xin Xiu also came out. Ning Cheng asked in doubt, "Since you two are here, what about the Heaven Essence Sacred City's pill house? Did you hire someone to look after it?" Xin Xiu and Wu Qihong lowered their heads with guilt written all over their faces. Jian Sanshan sighed and said, "It's because I'm too weak to protect the pill house. When I heard that Association Master Sheng got poisoned by the pattern bone poison, I knew that it might have come for you. Therefore, I asked Junior Apprentice Sister Xin and Junior Apprentice Brother Qihong not to tell you about it." Ning Cheng immediately understood. He nodded and did not ask about this matter again. Instead, he introduced Ba Meng to everyone. Then he held up the chair in his hand and said, "This is Association Master Cheng. Let's go in. I want to heal Association Master Cheng." Ning Cheng had too many eyes and the rest stops, so he chose to come to Jian Sanshan's cave. He had helped Jian Sanshan rearrange the defensive array in his cave, which made it much safer than some rest stops. In a room with restrictions, Ning Cheng took out a sky-extending mark bone pill and put it into Cheng Hotian's mouth. Back then, Ancestor Kong had used the sky-extending mark bone pill to detoxify the poison, but it had taken him a few hours. But now, in just an incense stick worth of time, a black mist overflowed from the top of Cheng Hotian's head. Then, drops of black pattern bone poison dripped from his body and fell into the jade bottle prepared by Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng's restrictions blocked the overflowing poisonous mist, and not even a little bit of it leaked out. Another hour passed, and the blackish-purple color on Cheng Hotian's body slowly disappeared. Even his corporeal body slowly returned to normal. Cheng Hotian opened his eyes, nodded to Ning Cheng, and closed his eyes again. A heaven and earth Tao charm aura began to condense around Cheng Hotian. Seeing this, Ning Qing knew that Ching Ho Tian was fine. He walked out of the room with Ba Meng and the others, leaving Ching Ho Tian alone to detoxify. Junior apprentice Sister Xian Xiu, can you tell us what happened to our pill house? Ning Qing didn't have the time to ask Xian Xiu until now. In fact, Xian Xiu and Wu Qihong were fine, which made Ning Qing feel relieved. As long as they were fine, everything else was secondary. Without waiting for Xian Xiu to speak, Jian Sanshan spoke up, I'm afraid this matter has nothing to do with them. After Association Master Sheng was poisoned, someone came to our pill house to sell falling scar fruits. You said that someone came to our pill house to sell falling scar fruits? Ning Qing asked in confusion. Falling scar fruits were a Dao fruit that people would snatch from anywhere. Why would someone come to a pill house to sell it? Yes. Jian Sanshan nodded. After that person took out the falling scar fruits, the people in pill house immediately turned green with envy and started to snatch the falling scar fruits. Ning Qing spoke up with a gloomy expression, I understand now. Did they snatch away the rest of the medicinal pills in the pill pavilion while snatching the falling scar fruit, and then turn the pill pavilion into a mess? In the end, these people all disappeared. Jian Sanshan sighed, that's it. At that time, Xian Xiu, who was in pill house, was seriously injured. Fortunately, I arrived in time and saved Xian Xiu. I guess that this matter and the poisoning of Association Master Sheng were all done to lure you back. Yes, this time, they indeed came for you. Ching Hotian's voice came out in time. Although he still looked a little dispirited, he no longer had the aura of the tattoo bone poison. Elder brother Ho Tian, you're fine. Ning Qing stood up and spoke with joy. Ching Ho Tian nodded, Brother Ning Qing, I have to thank you this time. Fortunately, you said that there was no heaven-extending scar bone pill in the pill house. If you had told Kai Daoping that there was a heaven-extending scar bone pill, I'm afraid I wouldn't have had the chance to come here. You mean? Ning Cheng's eyes suddenly flashed with killing intent. Kai Daoping had stopped him, and he had always thought that it was because of his personal grievances with Ching Ho Tian. But if Kai Daoping was the culprit behind the tattoo bone poison, then don't blame him for being impolite. A mere Kai Daoping didn't have the qualifications to covet his things. Ching Ho Tian spoke up with a solemn expression, it shouldn't be just Kai Daoping. Kai Daoping and I have some conflicts, but he wouldn't go so far as to poison me. But this time, he must have participated in it. I, Ching Ho Tian, have reached the Tao Essence realm for many years and have seen all kinds of storms. Humph. If you want my life, then you'll have to exchange it with your life. Chapter 1042. Ning Qing then introduced Ba Meng to Ching Ho Tian. Ba Meng had admired Ching Ho Tian for a long time. Hearing Ning Cheng's introduction, he quickly stood up and said, Ba Meng greets big brother Ho Tian. Ba Meng and Ning Cheng were friends, and Ching Ho Tian had become famous tens of thousands of years earlier than him. Although both of them were at the primordial Tao realm, Ba Meng was at the early stage primordial Tao realm, while Ching Ho Tian was at the full stage primordial Tao realm. Ching Ho Tian quickly waved his hand and said, Ning Cheng and I are friends. You can just call me by my name. Just call me Ho Tian. Brother Ning Cheng, you can do the same. I estimate that in a few years, Ning Cheng's cultivation will be higher than ours. Ching Ho Tian wasn't talking nonsense. Ning Cheng had seen his cultivation the first time he met him, and what was his cultivation now? How long had it been? His progress was too big. Ho Tian, what do you plan to do in the future? Ning Qing didn't stand on ceremony and asked directly. Ching Ho Tian sighed. The Elixir Association was my favorite place. I don't know how many years I've been in the Elixir Association. I can't even remember it clearly. I do what I like to do in the Elixir Association, researching some pill recipes. But now, I'm a little disappointed. I plan to leave the Elixir Association and go out to look for primordial chaos Dao opportunities. Ning Cheng remained silent. He knew what Ching Ho Tian meant. That was, Chiu Tian didn't stand on his side and was even a little biased. In fact, Ching Ho Tian wasn't wrong. Even Ning Cheng could see that something was wrong in the room. Chiu Tian couldn't possibly not know about Kai Daopeng's tricks. However, he didn't stop them. One reason was that he didn't want to get involved in the dispute between the two. The other reason was that Ching Ho Tian was almost hopeless, while Kai Daopeng was the mainstay of the Elixir Association. The association master focuses on the alchemy Dao and rarely asks about other things. I'm also a person who focuses on the alchemy Dao. I really don't want to waste my life in this kind of intrigue. Seeing Ning Cheng remain silent, Ching Ho Tian explained. Ning Cheng suddenly thought of the Five Realms Pill competition. Then can you participate in the Five Realms Pill competition with us? Ching Ho Tian shook his head and said, that's absolutely impossible. The Five Realms Pill competition is already extremely difficult to take. The guild master has to bear a certain amount of responsibility for bringing you along. If I were to be included, it would definitely not be allowed. Ning Cheng once again turned silent. He knew that he could not help even a little bit in this matter. Even if he didn't go to the Five Realms Pill competition, Ching Ho Tian wouldn't be able to go to the Great Change Realm. Brother Ho Tian, do you know who plotted against Ning Cheng? Ba Meng broke the silence and asked. Ching Ho Tian's face turned solemn. I suspect that it has something to do with the Star-Stepping Tower Master. When the Star-Stepping Tower Master first arrived in Heaven Essence Sacred City, she looked very powerful. I even saw her fight. The woman in my room has a cultivation method similar to that of the Star-Stepping Tower Master. Ning Cheng immediately thought of the black-robed woman with the veil over her face from the Star-Stepping Tower. This woman most likely came from Earth. If she really came from Earth, it would be like stabbing a gun in the back when two people from the same hometown met. In any case, you have to be careful of Star-Stepping Tower Master. Not only was this woman's cultivation extremely high, but she was also extremely scheming. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to control the first pavilion in Heaven Essence Sacred City. Ching Ho Tian saw Ning Cheng pondering over it and reminded him again. I understand. Ning Cheng nodded. He had never underestimated this Star-Stepping Tower Master. At this moment, the restriction at the door moved again. Ning Cheng saw Tsin Rushuan from the Sunken Fish Palace at the door and said, she came to ask me for alchemy. Xin Xiu, take her to the pill room next door. Helping the Sunken Fish Palace and the Silver Dragon clan with alchemy was very important. It was related to whether Ning Cheng could advance to the Dao Essence Pill Saint realm. A Dao Essence Pill Saint not only needed a thorough understanding of the Dao of alchemy but also a deep understanding of the Dao laws of heaven and earth. In other words, if one didn't even understand what Dao Essence was, it would be a joke to refine Dao Essence pills. Ning Cheng was a Dao sculpting holy emperor. The reason why he could refine the 16 soul pill, apart from his understanding of the Tao of returning to one during the alchemy conference, was because of the bestowing lawless fruit. Without the bestowing lawless fruit, Ning Cheng felt sure that even if his understanding of the Tao of returning to one reached a higher level, he wouldn't be able to refine Tao essence pills. Now that Tsin Rushuan came, Ning Cheng wanted to see what kind of pill she would refine. If it was a rare Tao essence pill that was difficult to refine, he would still refuse. It wasn't that he didn't keep his promise, but that he couldn't refine it. Only by refining a large number of Dao essence pills would he be able to accept this order. Tsin Rushuan felt very happy. Ning Cheng wanted to meet her alone in the pill room. Apparently, he wanted to help her refine pills. I wonder if Association Master Cheng is feeling better. Although Tsin Rushuan wanted to get straight to the point, she had to ask Ning Cheng about Ching Ho Tian first. She naturally knew that Ning Cheng had taken away Ching Ho Tian from the Pill Association. Ning Qing smiled. Association Master Cheng is still recuperating, but I believe he will recover. I don't know what kind of pill Senior Apprentice Sister Ru Xian wants me to refine this time. The Sunken Fish Palace has helped me a lot. Senior Apprentice Sister Ru Xian, feel free to ask. That's what I wanted you to say. Qin Rushuan said with a smile, I want to refine some Supreme Palace Heavenly Ice Pills and some Heavenly Essence Pills. Ning Qing breathed a sigh of relief. These two kinds of pills were Tao Essence Pills, not the kind that were very difficult to refine. However, the main Tao fruit of the Heavenly Essence Pill was really hard to find. Although the Heavenly Essence Pill wasn't the most difficult to refine, it was one of the most valuable Tao Essence Pills. The Heavenly Essence Pill was a Tao pill that could allow Tao Transformation Divine Emperors to comprehend Tao Essence Tao runes. It was so precious that it could make any first-step Tao Validation Divine Emperor go crazy. Even if a Heavenly Essence Pill could only give Tao Transformation Divine Emperors a slight chance to comprehend Tao Essence Divine Emperors, this slight chance was enough to make people go crazy. The Supreme Palace Heavenly Ice Pill was simpler. It could only enhance one's comprehension of Ice Attribute Divine abilities. Although the Supreme Palace Heavenly Ice Pill was a Tao Essence Tao pill, Tao Transformation Divine Emperors could also use it. This kind of elixir was the best for Ning Qing to practice with. I wonder how many cauldrons of elixirs Senior Sister Rushuan has. Ning Qing asked. Qin Rushuan said in a solemn tone, over the countless years, the Sunken Fish Palace has only found 5 cauldrons of Heavenly Essence Pills and more than a dozen cauldrons of Supreme Palace Heavenly Ice Pills. As for the Supreme Palace Heavenly Ice Pills, it doesn't matter if Pill Sage Ning fails a little. Ning Qing understood what Qin Rushuan meant. Even the Sunken Fish Palace only had 5 cauldrons of Heavenly Essence Pills. Failure was not allowed, but Qin Rushuan didn't say it out loud. As for the Supreme Palace Heavenly Ice Pills, it didn't matter if Pill Sage Ning failed a few cauldrons. The Sunken Fish Palace was one of the top 10 sections. Such a big sect only had 5 cauldrons of Heavenly Essence Pills after so many years. This showed how precious the Heavenly Essence Pills Tao fruit was. Ning Qing said calmly, it's impossible not to fail. I can't guarantee that I won't fail. Of course, I won't blame the Sunken Fish Palace for these failures. Qin Rushuan sighed. How could she not understand what Ning Qing meant? That is, if the Sunken Fish Palace escorted me to the Heaven Essence Sacred City, I would help you refine elixirs. However, I would still have to pay for the elixirs. In case I fail, it would be the payment. It wasn't that Qin Rushuan didn't think that Ning Qing wouldn't ask for payment, but it was just a thought. Even she didn't believe that a primordial Tao alchemy saint wouldn't ask for payment. Facing Ning Qing, he didn't have anything to hide. Ning Qing was a primordial Tao pill sage. If he asked Ning Qing to refine 9 Lives Fire Dragon pills and Ning Qing didn't know about the problem with his foundation, then Ning Qing, a primordial Tao pill sage, would definitely have a problem. Ning Qing put away the ring and nodded. Okay, Brother Gong can come to me in a month to collect the elixirs. I'll also take 40% of the elixirs. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.